Hello friends, this is Jasu Bakuhatsu, and Merry Genesismas to you all. Yeah, this is going to be my, just a little holiday stream I'm going to do here. Honestly, not really expecting anyone to show up. I imagine most people are away for the holidays. Right around to this point, I will be myself in relatively short order, heading home for the holidays. Basically tomorrow, or I guess technically later this morning, but yeah, it's midnight now, so it is technically, officially the holidays where I am right now. So yeah, Merry Genesismas and Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever the heck fuck you celebrate to you all. I've had a... And yeah, so my family and I, like my immediate family, do get together and, have dinner and open gifts and whatnot on the day before Christmas Eve, just because we go, do the Christmas thing with the extended family on Christmas Eve, and then on the other side of the extended family on Christmas Day. So yeah, I'll be away from home for the next few days, which means no updates on the channel. Which is fine, I've got updates lined up for the next couple weeks or so. Pluck will be finishing up. Azure Dreams will be finishing up. And that'll all be good times. There's no reason for me to be talking over this penguin guy here, really. Let's just load up a proper game. Here we go. Actually, you know what? I was kind of in the mood for Dynamite Headdy, but now that I don't know, talking about the holidays and stuff and Christmas, I just suddenly got the urge to play some of the original Sonic the Hedgehog instead. That's actually a game that I've already Let's Played for the channel, the YouTube channel, that is. Okay, actually, let's check our volume levels here for just a second. Might as well get this shit over with, the volume levels and whatnot, while no one appears to be viewing the stream. So let's just do a quick old audio check, 1 2 1 2, and see how that sounds. Okay, I actually fucked that up. I didn't get my laptop unmuted fast enough to hear the proper audio levels and everything. So I guess I guess you're just gonna wait for the game audio to kick in and then do it again. Mic check, 1 2 1 2, and let's see how it sounds. Okay, everything appears to be relatively fine and in order there, so, yeah, let's get this show on the road. Sonic the Hedgehog. So, yeah, I Let's Played this already for the channel, but I don't know, I kind of have these kind of weird nostalgic memories associated with this game, sort of surrounding Christmas time. I remember this game was probably the one Christmas gift I was the most excited to ever receive in like my entire life. It was weird. I remember it's kind of like a big, long-winded, like all sorts of reasons why I was just like, I really wanted to play the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I had already played the Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It came with my Genesis, and I had already played it and beaten it by then. I just always need to get that stupid glitch done every playthrough. It's just so freaking funny to me. But yeah, way back in the day, I had played Sonic 2, and I don't know what it was. I was big into like film criticism back in the day. Like I read movie reviews in the paper. And I actually watched a bit of Siskel and Ebert on TV as well. This would have been in like probably around about 93, 94, I think. I want to say it would have been, like, yeah, Christmas of 93 or 94. So I would have been, like maybe 6 or 7 years old. And anyways, so I was sort of... I'd seen some stuff about movie criticism, and I had, you know, being sort of young and a little bit precocious and a little bit easily influenced as I was, I had this kind of cliche, or this idea in my head, that movie critics kept on peddling around, that sequels never lived up to the original. It's just, you know, it was always, you know, cash grab and, you know, never, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So sequels never, that was just sort of an idea I had in my head, that sequels never live up to the original, and the first one is always better. And so for that reason, and yeah, because, you know, reading all this film criticism, I had that idea in my head back in the day. So and I loved Sonic 2 so much, so I was really excited to play the original Sonic, just to, you know, kind of see where the whole series got started. And because, you know, obviously, because it's the original game in the series, it's obviously even better than Sonic 2. And I didn't really have much of a sense for sort of the availability of games back in those days either. Like, occasionally we'd go into, like, Toys R Us or whatever department stores and stuff for whatever reason, and I'd browse the game shelves back then, so I didn't really have much of a sense for... But I didn't do that often, so I didn't really have much of a sense for sort of exactly how readily available certain games were. And as far as I'd seen, I'd never seen the original Sonic available for stores. As far as I knew, it was just like, you know, the game was like a whole, like, year and a half old, or I guess it would have been, no, it would have been about 3 years by that point, actually. 3 years old this game would have been. And I was like, oh, that's like ancient history. I bet they don't even sell this game anymore. It's just long gone to the mists of time. I'm just never ever gonna find it. And that's kind of the idea I had about this game. And that made me kind of sad. It's like, oh, I missed out. It's like this game, the original Sonic, this beloved, you know, originating point for this beloved, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog series that was near and dear to my heart. And I was never ever going to get to play the original game that kicked everything off. That was just, you know, lost to the ether, vanished into the mists of time. And that it just blew my mind when I actually got this game for Christmas. And I remember it was a big thing because I don't know who they even got. I actually couldn't recognize, like, I knew well enough at the time that Santa wasn't real and stuff, but they got a guy, like, dressed up as Santa to come in and deliver the presents that year. And it was so freaking... And, like, you know, I knew that Santa wasn't real at the time, so I, like, kind of looked carefully at the guy's face, and I was like, I don't know exactly who this was. I think it's, like, maybe one of my dad's friends, but I don't know. He has a different voice, and he's got this obviously fake beard, but still, I don't know who this guy is. But nevertheless, it was weird because, like, they never did that for, like, just family Christmas ever. Like, this guy, like, came into, like, my aunt and uncle's house where we had Christmas that year, and it was just bizarre. We'd never had something like that at Christmas before, and it was just surreal. And he, like, yeah, handed out presents to everyone. And I remember the present he handed out to me was the original Sonic the Hedgehog. And I remember, and I was kind of caught off guard at the moment because I was trying to figure out, like, who is this guy? This has got to be one of my dad's friends, but it kind of looks like him, but it's not exactly the same. I don't think. I don't really recognize him that well. And then while I was sort of mulling all this over in the end, he hands me a cart of the original Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm like, holy shit! And I didn't say, obviously I didn't cuss back in those days, but it was just like, it caught me completely, like, off guard and by surprise, and I was just so excited. It's like, oh my god, it's actually here! This game actually does exist! I actually have it now, and I'm gonna be able to play it! And I thought it was lost forever, and it was the single, like, Christmas gift I was the most excited to receive in my entire life. And I remember my family, actually, I was like likes to remember this moment. When Santa handed it to me, I was just in shock for a second. I was just looking at it. It's like, I couldn't believe it. And then after, like, a moment or two, it's just like, oh my god. And I just gave him, like, a big old hug. It's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I, like, just out loud, like, there. And in retrospect, it must have been really hilarious. But, you know, they didn't understand, like, you know, the way that video game prequels, or the first games in storied video game series and availability and whatnot. And mind you, I didn't understand back in those days either the way it really works. I mean, obviously the original Sonic the Hedgehog, it was actually, I actually know now, it was actually reprinted as a part of like the Sega Classics series. Like they actually redid the box art, and it's like kind of like they do with like the PlayStation Greatest Hits and stuff like that. And it was like, yeah, the Sega Classics line. So the game had actually gotten reprinted just recently, and was actually available for like bargain bin prices and whatnot. So it actually wasn't really not really all that rare or special or anything. But in my little 7-year-old mind, it was just insane. And I think I went over this in the LP, but I was just kind of thinking about that recently. And that's really kind of the most significant Christmas memory, or the most memorable Christmas memory I think I have. And definitely out of my whole childhood, at least, was, yeah, getting Sonic the Hedgehog in the Christmas of probably around about 94. And I remember, too, I think that was the same year. I'm pretty sure, actually, that was the same year I got my Super Nintendo. And, I don't know, yeah, even, and in fact, I had gotten my Super Nintendo even before that. And I was just, even so, I was way more excited to get that, Sonic the Hedgehog cartridge, the original Sonic the Hedgehog for Sega Genesis. Even more excited for that than I was for my Super Nintendo. I was, kind of a member of the console wars back in those days, so I was not exactly a diehard Sega Genesis fan. I had played some Super Nintendo games at my friends' houses, and I was like, I liked some of the Super Nintendo games that I saw, but like, they didn't have Sonic. They didn't have... what were the other... They didn't have Rocket Knight Adventures. They didn't have Ristar. Like, it's... It's like, okay, I'd like a Super Nintendo just to try out all of the... Just to be able to play these games that I play at my friends' houses whenever I want and check them out in more detail. But it's not... I wasn't really desperate for a Super Nintendo or anything. It's just... just something I threw away on my Christmas list. But Sonic the Hedgehog here was the main item. This was the one I really wanted for years. And, I just lost my shit when Santa handed that to me, and it was just probably my most memorable Christmas memory. The other one, I guess, and actually, this isn't even really a memory, I don't even remember it. It was, I had a Game Gear when I was even younger than that. It was been probably 2 or 3 years before the year of the original Sonic the Hedgehog. I had my Game Gear at that point, and I had very few games. I had, like, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I think that might have literally been it, actually. I had Sonic 2 on the Game Gear, and maybe Aladdin at that point, I don't remember. And a year or two earlier, I had gotten Deep Duck Trouble for the Game Gear. Or I think it must have been 1 year, because that was a pretty late... That was a pretty late release in the consoles cycle. Or you know what? No, even so, though, it must have been 2 years. I don't remember exactly. Anyways, and I remember getting it, and I remember it's like, okay, it's just, a random game. I wasn't super excited for it, but, it's another thing to play on, car rides and stuff. So it's like, okay, that's fine. Thanks, Mom. Or I think that was maybe from actually aunts and uncles or something. Actually, which would have made sense, because that game was probably not terribly expensive. Probably also another bargain bin find at that point. But nevertheless, it's a new Game Gear game, probably the second or third that I ever owned, so I was, like, super happy. And so that's all I did that whole Christmas day for the rest of the day, is I just played Deep Duck Trouble for hours. And I remember... Or, I don't remember, but they have it on video, so I've seen it. So I know that this happens, and it's another story that the relatives remember about me and make fun of me about. But I was playing Deep Duck Trouble, like, all day, and I remember my parents and relatives and all of them were trying to get me. It's like, come on, go in for, story time, or whatever else the kids were doing on Christmas Day, and... whatever Christmassy stuff the other kids were doing, whatever board games someone had gotten, or I remember my aunt would read. It was sort of a Christmas tradition. One of my aunts would read the night before Christmas to all the kids, and I just didn't want to be. Normally, I enjoyed my aunt's reading, but I just didn't want to be bothered. Wanted to play. Actually, yeah, this part I do remember. I didn't want to be bothered. Didn't want to be. Just wanted to play Deep Duck Trouble all day, and then they were like really hassling me about it. And then I remember at one point I set down the console, and I don't remember what I said to him. It's just like no, or leave me alone, or something like that. And I was just got so frustrated. I actually set the Game Gear down and like told them and like looked them in the eye and said, "No, I want to play it. I'm busy," or something like that. And then I went back to it, and of course, obviously, I ended up losing a life as a result of as a result of me being forced to interact with them and try to get them off my case. And apparently that really upset me, and I was like, well, what was the specific quote? And then so I get to put it back, and I was like, "Oh, you made my man die!" And they got that on tape. Actually, someone was videographing the whole thing, so that's immortalized into the mists of time. It's what 5-year-old Jasu Bakuhatsu. You made my man die! And that's just something that all of my relatives remember about me for when I was a little kid. Just like engrossed in my video game when everyone else wants me to go play with the other kids. Sort of an origin story of sorts, although obviously I was deep in the game, so to speak, at that point. And I don't know, those are kind of my two main Christmas memories. I don't know, it's not even, I didn't really have the idea of like coming on and doing a stream about, just reminiscing aloud about Christmas stuff to nobody on camera or anything. It's just, I don't know, I suddenly got it in my head, you know what, Sonic is the game for Christmas, I think. The original Sonic, and then why, and just for that reason, I have that connection between the original Sonic the Hedgehog and Christmas time. And so that sort of made me, Christmas stream, do Sonic the Hedgehog, and then that thought, in turn, made me think to, tell a bunch of dumb Christmas stories. I actually don't really have... I'm a pretty poor storyteller, as you probably have noticed by now. I don't really... honestly, a lot of it is the fact that I just don't have a lot of memories of childhood. I was just... I don't know, I don't know what it is exactly, whether it's like a brain problem or whether I'm just too engrossed in, books and video games to really remember, interactions with people or anything. It's just I don't remember stuff from my childhood. It's like I don't remember a lot of anything, really. Just like interactions with friends when I was a kid or anything like that. I don't have like stories about back in the day. It's all just games that I played, books that I read, and the people who tried to tear me away from such when I was supposed to be interacting with other people. Being sociable, that was what they always said. And actually, that continued until years and years and years forward. And actually until pretty much just recently when I actually started playing, introduced the extended family, or first the immediate family, and then the extended family to board games. And now we do that every Christmas, so I actually won out in the end. I've drawn them all into my world, and now we actually spend typically every Christmas playing Coup and Carcassonne and Ticket to Ride and all those fun games. Ascension, a bunch of games that I got them interested in now. And so I won in the end. They actually came around to my line of thinking. Games are actually awesome, and that's really the best way to spend a Christmas time. Even better playing it with families. Honestly, I have a much better time at Christmas playing board games with the family than just just sitting in a corner reading whatever book or whatever I get every year, leafing through whatever instruction manual for whatever game I got. But I guess another kind of, not exactly a Christmas story, but something I've noticed about Christmases these days is I remember the first Christmas when I had sort of started drinking more heavily. Because I was kind of a late bloomer. I've actually been a kind of a late bloomer in a lot of regards in terms of sort of rites of passage, kids growing up and that kind of stuff. I was years too later than all the other kids before I learned to ride a bike. actually years later than the other kids before I learned to tie my shoes. Also, I just used Velcro straps on my shoes until I was way too old. And driving, actually, to this day, I still can't drive. It's just, I don't know what it is. I have a feeling it's maybe something to do with, like, I don't know, something to do with, like, spatial awareness or, like, judging, like, distances between stuff. It's like, the big problem is I can't park for shit. Like, I just cannot do it. And I think it's a lot to do with just being able to judge, like, I don't know, angles and space, and, you know, space between objects and stuff. I'm terrible at pool for the same reason. Actually, I've been terrible at the visual arts since, like, way back as far as I can remember. Since I was, like, a little kid. I just could not draw, could not do paints or any sort of visual art for garbage ever since I was a little kid. And I don't know what it is. It's kind of self-diagnosing stuff, but I suspect that I've probably got some kind of brain thing going on where it's just that kind of, you know, spatial relation type stuff that prevents me from, you know, being able to draw things in proportion, being able to parallel park or even turn, even make a left-hand turn. But anyways, why did I get off on this tangent? Something about late bloomers. Oh yeah, so yeah, I actually didn't start drinking actually until well after I had passed the legal drinking age. Because yeah, I think legal drinking age in my home province is, I think it's like 20. I think maybe 20 sounds about right. And I didn't really get into drinking until a few years after that. I think it was about probably about when I was like I had a few drinks, but I was never like the sort of social drinking, recreational drinking was never really a thing that I did. I just sort of like, I remember my parents kind of trying to get me into it. It's like, oh, you're, you know, whatever, 20-something, you can have a beer now. And I had a beer and it was disgusting and I didn't really want it. And yeah, I think it was, I remember, I think it was my 20... Or I didn't like beer, but I liked sake. I remember we went out to the Samurai. That was it. The first year I was old enough to drink. We went out to the Samurai, a local Japanese restaurant, and I had sake for the first time, and I actually really enjoyed that. But I didn't really get out of the house that much, so I didn't really buy any myself. Well, on the rare occasions where I would go out and get myself an alcoholic beverage to consume, usually as some sort of, you know, special occasion or celebrate something or other. Ooh, can we make it? No, timer's too high now. I really do like, oh god. Oh, come on, it's Christmas. We can't drown on Christmas. There we go. But, yeah, anyways, I didn't really get, like, big into, you know, sort of recreational, social drinking until probably around about I did it a little bit more heavily when I was 23, and then when I was about 25, I started going out for supper. That was the thing I started doing with my dad when I was around about when I was 25 or so. I'd go out for usually supper and a movie with my dad, and you know, just sort of curiosity. I sort of took a bit more of an interest in sort of my dad and sort of his, you know, likes and interests and what he did for work and that kind of stuff. So I started whenever we'd go out for dinner, I'd just have whatever he had to drink. So I started drinking like Guinness and beers and stuff, and I don't know, I developed a taste for a lot of the same brands that he did. And so yeah, I became a bit more of a beer drinker back in those days, and a bit more of a drinker in general. And I remember, I think it was only about 3 or 4 years ago, I remember it was the first time I got like really drunk at Christmas time, at like family Christmas with the extended family. And what I never realized until I like sort of partook in the festivities, so to speak, was that everybody gets drunk off their ass at Christmas in my family. I mean, you know, not absolutely everybody, but in general, like the wine and the beers and the coolers flow freely come Christmas time in my family. And I was like, holy shit, is this just because I got into this that you guys are doing this now, or has it always been like this? And sort of, I sort of chatted with them. It's like, oh, this is Christmas now for all of us then, where we all have to get like super drunk and in order to, you know, tolerate each other's company and whatnot. I don't know, it was just sort of came as a shock to me. It's like, oh wow, so this is actually how you guys have celebrated Christmas all these years. This is why you guys are always, you know, so much more, you know, sociable. It's not festive cheer or anything. Everybody's just been drunk all this time. And I just thought it was kind of a shocking revelation at the time, and especially when I realized it's like, I don't know, at the time I had kind of this thought like, this isn't right. We've got some little kids around. Shit, I was a little kid around and you guys were doing this, and it's just, I don't know, I got the feeling it's not right, but you know, I got over it in relatively short order, and I have no problem, yeah, kind of getting drunk off my ass. Hell, I even play, yeah, board games and stuff with my younger cousins on Christmas time, Christmas time these days. And you know, I've sort of come around. I had sort of a weird philosophical positions regarding drinking and drugs and stuff like that. Stuff about, like, you know, undermining your mental capacities and the notion of preservation of, you know, sort of, I can't even really describe it. It was just sort of dumb philosophical ideas I had when I was younger. I'm trying to think of how I could even relay it. It's just sort of the idea, sort of the loss of the sort of a metaphysical notions of the self, like what constitutes the self. And I remember I was sort of grappling at the time with sort of the issues around sort of biological determinism isn't quite the right way, but sort of the notion that your brain functions can be like heavily affected by like things that go into your body, like, you know, chemicals and medications and stuff. Because I remember I was going through a bit of a depressive streak at the time due to some sort of fallout related to sort of a relationship that fell through in my high school years with a member of the opposite sex, a lady friend back in the days who I had sort of a falling out with. That sort of left me kind of suicidally depressed for about a year and a half or so, and I was sort of struggling with notions of like you know, the notion of taking antidepressants and stuff. It's like, well, I don't know. It's like, am I really myself at that point if I'm taking like these brain-altering medications? It's like, it's sort of like the notion that you're sort of the destruction of the self. Is it's like, are you really yourself anymore, or you're now yourself on medication? It's like you're sort of sort of the destruction of your natural self. That's the sort of the best way I could think to describe it. I had, like, I don't know, sort of the notions of like sort of the natural self and who I really am, and that I'd sort of be betraying my true self, my true personality by sort of altering my behavior through drugs or those sorts of things. That was the same reason I never got into, you know, drinking coffee or anything like that. And of course, those are kind of stupid ideas that I've really grown out of. Like, if you think about it, all food is, there's all sorts of things that are sort of alter your brain. It's like, honestly, good nutrition alters your brain chemistry and can change your personality. Getting lots of sleep is just the brain is a physiological or biological object in itself. It's just everything that occurs in the brain is a result of sort of biological and sort of physiological inputs. Be it like simple things like sleep or food or whatever. So like the notion, so what is really the difference between, you know, those sorts of obvious influences on your brain versus, you know, drinking a cup of coffee to get going in the morning, having a few drinks to be more sociable, or to break the ice in social situations, that kind of thing. God damn it. Oh, I'm actually down on my last life. I'm gonna have to pay attention to what I'm fucking doing here. On principle, I refuse to continue. I mean, I don't have any continues because I'm playing Sonic right now. But, yeah, if we end up game overing here, I'm just gonna continue from the start. Fuck it, we're gonna play this, get this game done right. If it's the only thing I do on this stream. Would be nice to play some other games. I do have a bit of time to kill here before I really need to get to bed. Because yeah, I do have, so yeah, like I said, I will be sort of on a brief hiatus over, actually, I guess it's more than the next couple of days, because I'll be gone over the next couple of days, and then when I come back, I'll have sort of plans for the next couple evenings after that. I'm gonna go see Star Wars with my dad and my brother-in-law on Sunday, And then we got a big kind of pre-New Year's dinner with the whole sort of immediate family the day after that. So I guess on Tuesday is when the regular YouTube uploads will resume. I'm gonna need to, or you know what, there is an extra life in this level, so yeah. On one life is a bit precarious, but on 2 lives I'm pretty confident I can beat the rest of the game here. Anyways, was I done describing that? Yeah, I just thought it was a funny thing. It's like sort of realizing. I guess you could say in a way, yeah. I sort of really realized the true meaning of Christmas, as it were, that year, which is kind of funny. And honestly, I've been enjoying Christmas with the family, enjoying the company of my family members a lot ever since I sort of loosened up a bit in that regard. Honestly, I think it was the board games were actually a bigger influence than the drinking, to be honest. Like, we have family gatherings for other holidays, like, you know, Thanksgiving and stuff, and there's not nearly as much sort of drunken revelry on those sorts of occasions, and I kind of get along with people just fine, as long as we're playing a board game of some sort. But yeah, that's pretty much all I think I have to... Yeah, pretty much all there is to say about, like, my sort of... Anything I would think to say about myself in terms of, like, holiday history, holiday memories, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it kind of beats, you know, sitting home alone at Christmas. Honestly, it wouldn't even really bother me that much. I don't think if I had to sit at home on Christmas time. Play whatever video game, you know. I've kind of reached the point in my life at this point where I'm very content to kind of keep my own company at this point. You know, I don't mind the odd social gathering once in a while, but honestly, if I have to stay home alone on whatever given occasion, it's, yeah, I have no problems keeping myself occupied in general. It was, and actually, I kind of... Oh, wow, this is new. I've never actually seen that. I think I gotta... Because, yeah, there should be a spiked ball on there. I gotta respawn that shit. It's, like, weird. It's like, to be honest, I got a little bit of a head start on, if it wasn't obvious already, got a little bit of a head start on the holiday festivities, as it were, if you know what I mean, over at my parents' house, opening gifts and stuff. Drinking the rum and eggnog and whatnot. Actually, or I guess I could say how Christmas went so far. That my, yeah, with the immediate family. It was a good time. Kind of in tough financial straits these days, so I actually, and my parents kind of know that. They've been kind of floating me cash the last couple months to make sure I can keep rent and groceries going and all that stuff, which makes me feel kind of a little bit depressed and pathetic. I prefer to be self-sufficient and not... And in fact, I am dead set, like, committed to repaying them once things sort of get back on track in terms of work coming in. But anyways, so yeah, that's all sort of a preamble to the fact that a lot of my gifts that I got for Christmas this year, or the things on my list that I asked for and thankfully received, were a lot of sort of bare necessities type stuff. I needed socks and underwear and some new clothes and gift cards for meals. So yeah, I got a bunch of Subway gift cards, I got socks and underwear, I got gift certificate for the local drugstore so I can, or I got a phone card as well, so I won't have to refill that for a few months, most likely. So yeah, basically I got some of my minor expenses covered for the next, honestly, the next good long while, which will be really convenient for me. Sort of make it easier for me to save up that money to repay the last couple months' rent money to my parents, which is honestly kind of stupid. It's not really, it's like, you know, they're giving me these gifts in the first place that allow me to kind of save these few extra dollars here and there. I also did get some, this wasn't all boring stuff, though. I mean, you know, it's not boring stuff for me. Honestly, that's the stuff I was happiest about to get. But I got some other exciting things, too. I got some board game stuff. a couple expansions to a couple of my favorite games. In fact, I honestly, it's so bad. I've had that stupid top 10 board games, the first 5 of the top 10 board games on my YouTube channel for the longest time, and it's this part 2, like the top 5, they're mostly finished. It's just I gotta get through the top 5, and I've done 4 of them. But I wasn't satisfied with the way I covered the number 1 game, so I wanted to re-record that. So I, sort of went back and re-recorded the bit where I talk about my number 1 game, and I wasn't satisfied with that either. So, and yeah, that's just sort of how it goes. It's really kind of a really difficult game to talk about, and I like the game so much. I really want to do it justice and sort of get across all my thoughts and feelings about it, and just sort of the impact it's had on me and my life in general. And yeah, for that reason, I just really want to do the game justice. So I've been really procrastinating on finishing up my description of that number 1 board game. And so yeah, for that reason, the video's just been really delayed. I honestly, at this point, I might as well just do my top 4 and then make my number 1 a separate video. That's the big thing, actually, is length. Because every time I get rambling on about my number 1 tabletop game, like, what's ended up happening is I end up rambling about that game for literally just as long as, like, all the other games in the video combined, which means that, yeah, like, I literally ramble on about this game for, like 40, or not quite 40, but like about 25 minutes, when the rest of the video is like barely longer than like 30 minutes. It's like I spend like 30 minutes talking about these other 4 games, and then another 25 talking about my number 1. So I'm basically trying to compact things, trying to get my thoughts in order, trying to find a good way to sort of compress things while still getting my points across. Oh, and the reason I bring that up is I got some expansions to some of my favorite board games, actually. There's some expansions for some of my favorite games that just came out very recently that, sadly, I have not had the funds to purchase as of late. So I had a lot of board game expansions on my Christmas list this year, apart from the necessities list. So yeah, there's a new Eldritch Horror expansion, there's a new Imperial Assault expansion, a new Pixel Tactics box that came out just recently, and so yeah, I got a few of those things. Yeah, I got the new Pixel Tactics box, I got the new Imperial Assault box. I don't remember if Imperial Assault was on my bottom 5 or my top 5, like on my 6 through 10 or my 1 through 5. Either way, if it's on the top 5, I spoiled it now, Imperial Assault. I'm pretty sure it was on the video that went up already, though. But yeah, I didn't even get the newest Imperial Assault expansion. I was 1 behind. So yeah, I got Twin Shadows, I got Pixel Tactics 4, and, oh, what was the other one? I got one more. Pixel Tactics, Imperial Assault... Gosh, I just don't remember. Oh well. Need to take another drink is what I need to do. That'll refresh my memory. Oh god, I'm down to 1 life. This is a bit precarious. Ah, delicious. Anyways, God, this is driving me nuts. Pixel Tactics, Imperial Assault. You know what, I'm not going to be able to concentrate on Sonic in this state. I'm going to look in the bag. Oh, that's right. The new coup. I forget what it's called. It's coup C54? Yeah, coup C54, which is basically just a new version of Coup, which is sort of one of my favorite games for big groups of people. Sort of, 5 to 8 players. Or I guess that's not entirely true. I actually think Coup's not that great once you get above 7, but it's a good game for, I think, 5 to 6 players, which is usually about what we have for family board games. And anyways, yeah, Coup G52 is or was it C-Fit? Whatever. The new Coup game is basically just the same as the original Coup, except with a bunch of new cards. It's like the original Coup, you had basically just the same 5 cards that you use every game, and just those are the cards you get. It's a very simple game, which is a lot of its appeal. It's a wonderful bluffing game, and there's a lot of sort of bullshittery that can go on, which is sort of a lot of my favorite types of games actually involve that sort of bluffing aspect where you're able to sort of trick your opponents and lie about, basically lie to your family. Those are my favorite games. But the original Coup had a fixed set of cards, whereas the new Coup game has basically randomized cards. You have like all sorts of different cards, and you just shuffle up and pick out a set at random at the outset. And so you can't sort of fall back on the same strategies, like, you know, claiming Duke round 1 every single game. And a lot of the cards are super interesting and add like a lot of kind of strategic depth. And also, like I said, you can't really rely on the same strategies every game. You got to kind of improvise based on the cards you get. And the cards that show up in every game, and it's just really interesting. Like I said, the family's big into Coup too, so that'll be a fun one to give a shot at. Christmas with the extended family tomorrow. Also, actually, Twin Shadows was a fun. Twin Shadows was kind of a serendipitous. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly. A fortunate pickup, actually, as well, because I was actually number 1 on my list of things to buy for board games, because I know I've been really disappointed at sort of my purchase of Imperial Assault, not in the game itself, but in the fact that I haven't been able to get it to the table as often I would like. I really, really enjoy Imperial Assault, but most of the game groups I play it with haven't enjoyed it. There's just like, it's just like a very meh reaction all around with all the groups I've played it with, except for one who like kind of liked it, and then but they weren't crazy about it, so I don't get to play it as often as I like. Last time I played it though, we actually had a really good time, and I sort of described and a couple people took interest in like, oh, what's this campaign thing? So I described it to them, and they said like, oh, that's cool, except we sort of describe the logistics of it, and we figured it would take us like over a year to run this stupid campaign with how often we get the same people together for game nights every week. So then I mentioned, it's like, oh, actually, if the regular campaign is too long, in the Twin Shadows expansion they got out, they have a mini campaign which is like it's like a third as long as the big campaign. So if you guys really want to do like a shorter campaign, I could get that expansion, and we could do that. And they all seemed really interested, and so I was like, that shot that game like right up to the top of my list of games I want to get. And that actually happened after I gave my Christmas list to my parents. So it's just like dumb luck, and I didn't even mention any of this then, so it's just dumb luck that they happened to get that for me for this Christmas. And so that was the next thing I was going to buy once I've got the money for it anyways, so that's just worked out super great for me. Oh, Pixel Tactics was another fun pickup. So I was out today getting Christmas stuff. I was out with my dad. My dad and I, it figures that we're alike, the two of us. Both of us were doing a bunch of last-minute Christmas shopping today. We were out together getting some stuff. And, I've sort of taken to getting board games for a lot of people on Christmas, just because, like, I know a lot of my family members have expressed interest in kind of, like my sister and my brother-in-law have expressed interest in expanding their board game collection, but it's kind of intimidating, there's so many board games out there, what do you get? And it's just a lot of effort actually going into like researching what kind of games are out there, and a lot of thought that can go into what games you want and to fill out your collection. So they kind of rely on me to sort of get them, basically gifts from me to fill out their collections. And most of the gifts I've been giving them, I think it's about the last 2 years or so, I've been giving my family like board game gifts for Christmas and birthdays and stuff, and generally most of them have gone over really well. Almost all of them are games that we play regularly on family game nights. And so yeah, anyways, I went to the board game shop with my dad to get out some gifts for the family, and then also stuff for the, you know, the gift exchange that we, or the, what do you call it, the Chinese gift exchange that we do with the extended family. We actually had a discussion about that, which was kind of funny, with my family today, whether or not the term Chinese gift exchange is racist, and basically we came to the conclusion that none of us know at all. What is even the origin of, like, the phrase Chinese gift exchange anyways? Did it actually originate in China? Or is it like the term, like, Indian giver, where it's just like some kind of archaic racial stereotype that doesn't really exist anymore? I don't know, but anyways. And it's a redundant descriptor, too. It's like, oh, we have a gift exchange. It's like, most people know what you mean, I think, in general. Or I don't know, maybe not. Maybe, there's the different ways you sort of exchange gifts. When you've got, like, a big group of people, like offices, extended families, that kind of stuff. Too many people to buy gifts for. So what do? There's a few different setups. You can do the Secret Santa, or you can do the Chinese gift exchange. Or just, I've heard most people refer to it as gift exchange, where you've got a bunch of gifts in the center, a person picks one out at random, and then the next person can either pick out a gift from the pile, or steal one from someone who's picked theirs already, that kind of thing. And anyway, so but the term gift exchange is, like, descriptive enough already, sort of. Or I guess you could call it, like, asshole gift exchange to make it even more descriptive. But it's like, anyway, so it's like, the word, like, throwing Chinese on front doesn't really clarify anything, really. I don't know. It was just sort of, we had a weirdly in-depth discussion about the origin of the phrase Chinese gift exchange. Yeah, try again. I don't think so. I don't generally like getting emeralds. Is there any other, or I guess I could play Deep Duck Trouble again as sort of another Christmas thing. I don't know. I've already got that on my YouTube channel, though, and it's not an amazing game. It's not one I'm super amped for, whereas this Dynamite Headdy thing is actually practical. This is one I kind of want to practice, because I think I've got a few games in mind, sort of in contention for being my next sort of short LP series for, kind of these 1 to 2 hour classic games. So, Dynamite Headdy is one of them. Castlevania Bloodlines I'm considering as well. Or actually, it's sort of a longer series. I'm considering doing Yoshi's Island maybe as well. I obviously won't be playing through that to completion tonight. Or you know what? Oh, well, I remember. You just press left. Yeah, it's the last one on here. Attack, jump, cancel. Looks good. But yeah, I'd say Dynamite Headdy is probably... Or actually, Sparkster. The Genesis Sparkster was another one I was strongly considering. Oh, and actually we've changed our game here, so we'll update the Twitch Now Playing thing here. And I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, right, the whole thing about board games. So I was basically just trying to justify the reason why I was in the local board game shop with my dad earlier today. And it was just today. I was with him, and I was just sort of, I was browsing through things. I was browsing through, little card games for the gift exchange and some of the stuff I had in mind for my sister and brother-in-law. And as I was going through, I was just not even really thinking about it, because I figured he'd already gotten whatever he was going to get for me. I noticed a few new things. It's like, oh, this thing is out. Oh, that thing is out. And I noted when I was, at the time, just sort of offhand, it's like, oh, a new Pixel Tactics game. I didn't even realize this was out now. And it's like, okay, that's going to go high up on the list of stuff I'm going to get. And, as I found out later, which my dad told me, that the Pixel Tactics 4 was just released today, or I guess yesterday at this point. Just released, like, right before we got there. Apparently they had just unboxed it and put it on the shelf not long before we walked in. And, it was the funniest thing. It's weird. So basically, in addition to our regular sort of family gifts to each other, Santa came and dropped off stockings for everyone, which just had Yeah, basically just stockings for everyone in the immediate family, filled with little stocking stuffers. And one of the things in my stocking was, yeah, Pixel Tactics 4, which I thought was just, like, really funny. It's just like, I just told you about this today. It's like, I literally said to him, it's like, you motherfucker, you bought this, like, after you took me home, after we went shopping. He just said, no, it was Santa. It's just, I thought that was really funny. My dad's a really good guy. It's just, I don't know. He tends to be, like, really generous with, like, you know, gifts and stuff. He likes buying gifts for people. He's, like, you know, kind of the breadwinner in the family. I come from kind of, I guess you'd call an upper middle class family. My dad's kind of, he's been with the company he's been at a really long time, so he's kind of an upper level position there. He makes a good bit of money at this point, and he likes to just, like, get gifts for people sometimes, and he's really thoughtful with it sometimes too. Like, you know, he pays attention a lot of the time when you just say, oh yeah, I've been into this and I've been looking at this thing, which is really, I don't know, he's just a really nice guy. Which it seems like kind of a shitty thing to say, almost just like, oh yeah, he's a really nice guy, now that he got me that thing that I told him I was interested in. It's just, in general though, it's just like, you know, hanging out with him on... I don't know, I have a lot of respect for my dad. I actually... It seems weird to me, actually, the more I think about it, kind of how different we are. I'm a lot more... Like, you know, he's a hard worker, you know, works a lot of... works a lot, travels a lot for his work, makes a lot of money, you know, kind of your standard, you know, kind of that generation of people, I guess, what do you call them, the baby boomers, I suppose. Just kind of that traditional, kind of, you know, man of the household type thing. The breadwinner of the family. And it's just, I don't know, the more I think about it, it's just like, I'm not really that kind of mindset at all. I'm lazy, hedonistic fucker, essentially. It's just, I don't know, that kind of work ethic didn't pass down to me. It's like I got the... or what was I saying that I got earlier? I was saying something about how another way that I'm similar to my dad. Or to my dad. Anyways, yeah, I got the receding hairline, which has unfortunately been creeping up on me the last year or so, especially noticeably. And I was mentioning something that I thought some other regard that we were similar in. Oh yeah, there was one other thing I noticed, or nah, it's never mind. There's some other ways I've noticed that I'm similar to my dad, but yeah, I don't know, the work ethic just didn't pass down. And you know what, my mom's the same way too. She is like really strong into, like, you know, the work ethic and stuff like that. It's just, I remember having like kind of small arguments with her back when I had like a regular, I was doing like shift work at this is weird. Yeah, Headdy just kind of looking at the camera and running in place there. That is not normal. I did not do anything to make that happen. But anyways, what was I saying? I don't remember. Yeah, anyways, yeah, I think my dad's a really good role model in general. And, I don't know, none of it rubbed off somehow. It kind of made me worry, actually. You know, I think about myself. Like, I wouldn't want to lead, like, the kind of life that my dad lives. Like, you know, working all the time, traveling all the time, having to, you know, go to, like, social outings and conventions and meet with doctors and shit and government officials. Jesus, no. It's, not the kind of thing I'd want to spend my time doing at all. Even for good amounts of money, I wouldn't want to do it, especially for... It's, you know, like I said, I just want to kind of sit around the house and work as little as possible and play video games and board games with friends the rest of the time. And it sort of made me worry in recent years, like, God, Dad, you know, he works so hard to support, like, you know, my mom, and he's, like, you know, getting stuff for the rest of the family. It's like, I hope he's doing all right. Like, I hope he's happy. So I've been thinking about that a lot more lately, which is why I've been kind of wanting to make an effort to, you know, sort of hang out with him more often and, you know, let him know that I appreciate all he's done for all the hard work he's done, or just appreciate him in general. He's not just yeah, you're a hard worker, you've done a lot for the family, but just he's a really good guy, and I really kind of admire and respect him. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like honestly I haven't really said that much to him. It's sort of that outright in so many words. I really should probably one of these days. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of one of the bigger things this year, or the last couple of years, but especially lately. It's just, I don't know, I feel a weird sort of kinship with my dad's. Kind of just all these ways I've been noticing that we're similar lately. So that's enough. And yeah, I just thought it was so nice of him, just like to go out at the last minute and like buy all of this stocking stuff. He got cool stuff for the rest of the family too, even though this happens every freaking year. My mom and my dad agree that they're not gonna get anything for each other because there's no point by now. And of course he gets her something like every year. And she actually gets like, occasionally gets like super pissed off at him for it, but anyways, that's sort of how my family Christmas went. Oh, and I guess the other thing worth mentioning that I got in my stocking stuffer, yeah, another item in my stocking here, which I guess I'm sharing with you guys right now of sorts. I got a little mini bottle of Disaronno, or Disaronno? Disaronno. Yeah, Disaronno, which is, what is it exactly? It's been around since 1525. It's a liqueur and it's a product of Italy. 50 milliliters, 28%. That's everything it says on the label. It's delicious. Actually, I think he got some from everyone, Disaronno. Or I think it was when they went to Italy on vacation, actually, that he first picked up a bottle, and there was like a big hit with the whole family, so now they buy it all the time. So yeah, he got Disaronno for everyone's stockings, which I'm enjoying right now in celebration of Genesismas. With you guys here. All of you 0 people watching here on Twitch. Oh well. I've actually got to pace myself a bit. I sure as fuck do not want a hangover going into Christmas tomorrow. But yeah, pretty much covers how my Christmas went. Oh, yeah, one of my aunts and uncles came over, stopped by the house to visit as well. That was nice. Don't see them that often. They live out of province, so... And yeah, that was sort of Christmas, my first Christmas this year. Christmas on the 23rd, then I got Christmas with my mom's side of the family on Christmas Eve, and Christmas with the dad's side of the family, Christmas Day a little bit, and then... what day is that going to be then? What day is it today, even? It is Thursday, Christmas Eve, so that's Friday, Christmas. Come back Sunday for Boxing Day. Yeah, get that bonus point. And, yeah, then Star Wars after that, and then, yeah, out for a big fancy dinner after that. So yeah, that's all my holiday season taken care of. I don't really have that many nostalgic memories associated with... Yeah, I mentioned that already. Really, those are kind of my 2 Christmas games. I really should play Deep Duck Trouble, I guess, with that in mind. Those are really the only 2 sort of video games I really associate with sort of Christmas time. Is, yeah, basically Deep Duck Trouble, because of that stupid "You Made My Man" die story that my extended family loves to talk about in my presence all the time. And, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. Or, you know what, I remember being really excited about Final Fantasy VIII as well. I remember, yeah, not 8, Final Fantasy VII. Because I remember I got my PlayStation that year. I actually bought it myself. I traded in all of my 16-bit consoles. Yeah, I traded in my Genesis and my Super Nintendo and all the games in order to get myself a PlayStation, but that didn't really get a whole lot in trade there, so I wasn't able to get any games to go with it. So I just did rentals for like about a month or 2 before Christmas time. And at that point, actually, I was unfamiliar with like the whole concept of the memory card. I didn't like really do much research into the PlayStation or anything. All I know is like, oh, PlayStation is the Final Fantasy VII system, and I was huge into RPGs at the time. That was like my #1 genre. That was almost the only kind of game I played, and I knew Final Fantasy VI was one of my favorite games, and I was kind of getting to the point where I started to recognize, like, you know, started to notice the companies that made a lot of my favorite games. So yeah, I remember Squaresoft made Super Mario RPG and Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI. So it's like, oh yeah, all these Square games. We got Final Fantasy VII coming. So it's like, yeah, I gotta get a PlayStation. But I had like no sense of like what a PlayStation was. I didn't know about memory cards, which was the big thing. So for like 2 months, just about. Yeah, I think it was about a month in that, or yeah, about 2 months. I think I was sitting on a PlayStation with no games and no memory card. So it's like basically I'd rent games occasionally, and I'd own, and basically I'd just like leave them on. The fuck? I swear to God, I didn't press anything. Oh well, there we go. That was bizarre. Anyways. Do I have like shit running in the background or something other than my recording software? Oh, bonus point. Got him. I think that might be all the secret bonus points in this level. That's kind of the big decision in oh wow, that's a lot of damage that guy does. That's kind of the big decision point in if I decide to do a Let's Play of Dynamite Headdy, will I go for all of the secret bonus points? That really is the crucial question, because a lot of them are they're kind of like weirdly obtuse. Like they're very obtusely hidden, very random a lot of the time. A lot of the time it's just in fact, I don't even know if I'll maintain the one that I picked up unless I yeah, wait for it. Like, yeah, that guy he drops there gets you the bonus point. It's completely random. It's like sometimes he drops it, sometimes he doesn't. And if you really want that secret bonus point, you might be waiting a long time before he drops it. And actually, that's like and that happens with like a lot of the secret bonus points where you're just like hanging out waiting for a random thing to drop. Oh, 7 of 8. Which one did I miss? Honestly, I don't even know how to get all of the secret bonus points offhand, so if I do it, I'm gonna have to look that shit up. Yeah, I'd say I'm almost certainly not gonna do all the secret bonus points, now that I think of it. It's just, yeah, too much of a pain in the ass. But, yeah, any more Christmas stuff to talk about? Yeah, I don't think so. Excuse me, I'm just munching on a chocolate here. Actually, now might be a decent time to think about what I'm gonna frickin' say about Dynamite Headdy. If I do Let's Play it. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that I say about these games is, these games that I Let's Play is very similar to... Very similar between the videos, just because, like, a lot of the stuff that I like about these games tends to be shared between the games. Like, you know, variety is a thing that I talk about all the time. This is a cool set piece here too, kind of underused. This is another one of those kind of Rocket Knight Adventures style, where it's kind of that Situation Rush style level design, where it's just like constantly changing things up. You never see like the same obstacle for more than one little section. Yeah, here we've got like 2 really unique kind of set pieces in a row. This is another kind of random drop there for a secret bonus point. That big head cat there. Whoops. Stupid head case got in the way there. Yeah, one thing I think I need to do better in my Let's Play series is doing a better job of kind of differentiating. Like, I usually talk about the stuff that I like about the games that I play, but a lot of the stuff, you know, like I said, a lot of the stuff that I like tends to be like common between the games that I play. It's like they tend to share a lot of the same features, and I tend to just go on about those features in every game. Whereas I really do think I should be trying to do a better job of kind of differentiating the different games that I play here on the... Or I say here on the channel. I'm probably not going to upload this to YouTube. But, yeah, just sort of more like getting to like what makes a game special, what makes it unique, that kind of thing. Honestly, I don't even know what I'd say about this. Honestly, the more that I think about it, I used to think that I was like some kind of like analytical guy, or I like go in depth into games. It's the more that I kind of reflect on the way my Let's Play series have gone, I don't really have that much insight. I tend to be pretty simple-minded when it comes to games criticism. It's like, does it have... you know, I like variety. I like nice, you know, colorful, cartoony graphics, at least in this style of game. Or, you know, I like some semblance of, like, you know, unique artistic design in video games. Honestly, I couldn't even say that there's, like, a single sort of type of visual design I prefer in games. Honestly, I have a pretty wide breadth of taste, I think, as far as game goes, in many regards, in terms of the different genres I like, in terms of the different, you know, styles of games I like, in terms of, yeah, not just genres, but, you know, sort of aesthetics as well. Ooh. And, oh, I was coming around to a point like that, but I forget. Or, you know what? I could have one-cycled this guy. You know what? It's probably better if I don't for the Let's Play. Anyways, probably want to show off all this guy's attacks. Oh, hey there, Captain Luigi. Good to have you on board. You missed out on my big friggin' nostalgia trip on all my Christmas stories. You know what? Now that I think of it, I'll probably upload it to the YouTube channel. Anyways, because, you know, what's the friggin' point otherwise? Ooh, am I gonna one-cycle this guy? Probably not. Oh, I did it! Nice! So yeah, anyways, long story short, I was out at, out at my immediate family's today for sort of a little Christmas get-together. And then tomorrow we're going to, you know, have Christmas with my with my mom's side of the family, and then Christmas Day we go for my, dad's side of the family. And so, yeah, we had a nice little Christmas with my immediate family today, and my dad, it was so nice of him. He went out and got, stocking stuff for... I'm just repeating myself now if I'm going to actually upload this to YouTube, but whatever. Anyways, long story short, I'm drinking a Di Serono right now, which is why I'm so full of holiday cheer at the moment. Dad stuck it in my stocking. He actually got a little bit of Di Serono for everyone, because that's kind of a drink that my family in general really enjoys, ever since they brought it back the one time from their vacation in Italy. So yeah, I'm just sitting here having a little Christmas stream before I head out tomorrow. Probably be away for... Or yeah, I guess I'll probably be away till about Monday. No more updates on the YouTube channel, unfortunately. I really wish that there were a way to, like, flag, like, my YouTube videos, because I have all of the videos, like, uploaded for the next couple weeks or so. It's just a matter of going into YouTube and flagging them from private to public. But if I don't have computer access, then I can't do that. So if I'm away from home, then there's just no YouTube content for the next few days, which sucks. I'd love it if I could just schedule it in advance, just like on X day, flag this video public. I don't know if that feature's available around. I need to look into it. I think I tried looking into it before, and I didn't see anything like that. Whoa! I thought there was. Yeah, I definitely thought that there was. But, yeah, I definitely thought there was something like that, but I was not able to find it. I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe the YouTube interface just sucks and is terrible for finding certain features. That's definitely a thing that occurs sometimes, but, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not a huge deal. If anything, it'll, you know, give me time to prepare the next thing, whatever I'm gonna upload, whatever series I'm gonna do. Okay, that would make sense then. Yeah, if it's I gotta look into that further then. I must have just missed it. That'd be convenient, because yeah, that's happened a couple times before, where it's like I've been away for a week, so the channel has no updates for a week, and it's just like, the videos are right there. Oh, the music in this level here is great, actually. In fact, it is literally great. This is great music from video games right here. This was one of the earlier level entries on my little video game music playlist, actually, now that I think of it. Probably my favorite track from this game, actually. Dynamite Headdy is probably one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. Honestly, possibly one of my favorite video games, or maybe not my favorite video games of all time, but definitely one of my favorite 2D platformers. I'd probably put this somewhere in my top 10 2D platformers of all time. In fact, I've been thinking maybe if I eventually someday, maybe hopefully, get around to finishing my top 10 tabletop games videos, I might start doing like top video game things after that. And one of the lists I have in mind is top 10 2D platformers, because that's kind of my jam, kind of the main style of game that I like playing. And yeah, I'm pretty sure, I haven't given a ton of thought to it, but I'm pretty sure Dynamite Headdy would make my top 10, probably somewhere around like 7 or 8. This is another one of those games that I never actually owned back in the day either. I just rented it repeatedly. It's actually a rather long game too. Not quite as long as Plock, but still. And there's like no password or save system or anything, so you gotta get it all in one go. Missed the timing. I think there might be a secret bonus point if you get all of the point pickups in this area here. Maybe it was the next area, or maybe I'm just making shit up. I still haven't decided if I'm gonna get all of the secret bonus points if I do Let's Play this game. The secret bonus points in this game are so obtusely hidden. In fact, now that I've got an audience, assuming that holds true once I make it to the what level is it? Sky High, I think. There's a interesting little secret bonus point that yeah, I'm certainly gonna have to show off that one for the LP, because there's just so much random bullshit for the secret bonus points in this game. It's hilarious. It's basically a lot of shit where you just sit there waiting for a random drop for like minutes on end, and then it drops, and it's like, yay! You got a secret bonus point! Which basically just gets you score, like just points, which is worth nothing in this game. Still, it's cute though, and you get that little voice that goes, you got a secret bonus point! And it's just, that's all you need, really. That's enough incentive. Nope, actually, nope. This is actually a useful pickup, despite what it looks like. You actually get a full heal here if you let it go through. I do want to, get my invincibility here, just because it makes the next section a little bit easier. It's another one of these little variety games. Oh, you bugger! Fucking dude is trolling. Oh, there we go. There we go. Just the sheer variety. Like, I've talked about... Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I keep thinking, like, I should stream all the time, and just a lot of the time I just don't feel it. I just don't have the energy. Like, I'm all full of Christmas cheer, quote-unquote, right now, and I was in the mood after I got home from the Christmas festivities, but yeah, typically I just haven't had the energy lately. Same with Let's Plays, too. Although, honestly, it's kind of a weird thing. It's like, usually once I get started, if I just force myself into it and sort of get it rolling, I start feeling better about it. Like, I remember that with, when I was streaming Threads of Fate last week sometime. I was feeling, like, completely blah, and I was totally out of it, and my commentary sucked for, like, the first hour or so. And after that, I just started enjoying the game, and I was just really feeling it. It's like, oh yeah, this is a good game, and these are all the reasons why I do like this game. And there's so much cool stuff going on here. It's just video games energize me in general. I don't know why I picked the Hammerhead here. There is no benefit What the fuck? Okay, that wasn't me doing anything there. That is a cutscene. That is the game taking away control of me and jumping up the stairs. I swear to God, this game is affected by my drinking right now. That's the second, like, weird, bizarre, like, Heady doing weird shit glitch that I've seen today that I've never ever seen before. Because, yeah, I did nothing. That was, yeah, that was a cutscene right there where he just failed to jump up the stairs. It's just hilarious. This is probably the most bullshit part of the game. Actually, it's going to be less bullshit on the actual Let's Play, because actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing with this game that I did with Ristar, and I'm going to play the Japanese version of Dynamite Headdy for the YouTube channel, just because there's a lot of changes that they made for the American version. And actually, again, I think the American version is overall slightly better. They kind of refined things just a tiny bit for the American version, but this boss fight here is the one exception. This is one thing that they actually made much worse for the North American release of this game. In the Japanese version, this guy had a fixed pattern where he would, like, he'd shoot out the little arm thing that grabs away the tower blocks, and he'd do that like 3 times, and then he'd rush at you. In the American version, it's randomized. It's completely randomized. I've tried this so many times. You, like, hover in front of him, whatever. There is nothing you can do to make this guy dash at you. So if you just get unlucky, and he just decides he's gonna shoot the frickin' grabby things all day, you're just never ever gonna get a chance to hit this guy. It's just completely random as to when you actually get to hit him. Because I can reach him from here if I want to. Whoops. Okay, I'm not gonna do it again, but if I really want to, I can jump over there and, you know, risk taking a hit and hit him, but he's not vulnerable. It'll just, you know, clang and nothing happens. He's invincible until he charges forward like that, and even when he does, I only get 1 hit. So it's basically just luck as to how many times he wants to do that. Also, there's a secret bonus point here, where just if you climb the tower long enough. So actually, it's sort of a silver lining there. If he trolls you and just decides not to let you hit him, and you just let the tower scroll up for, like, it's a super long time you've got to wait. But yeah, if you just keep climbing the stairs and don't kill this guy, you'll eventually get a secret bonus point. That's really dull. Yeah, now that I think of it, some of the secret bonus points in this game are so freaking stupid. There's no way I'm getting them all for the Let's Play. I'll just comment on them as I go past them. And again, we're on, like, another really cool, unique set piece. It's just like with Rocket Knight Adventures, it's just like set piece after set piece, everything completely different, only the gimmicks are, like, even more unique and more varied than in Rocket Knight Adventures. It's like Rocket Knight Adventures, everything was kind of centered around the basic mechanics. It's like, you know, you got your rocket attack or I don't know how to describe it. It's just, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just the gimmicks in this game are just so out there and so off the wall and so constantly, it's like, you know, what the fuck? I literally have no idea what I did to earn that secret bonus point. It just told me I got a secret bonus point, and I don't even know what I did to get it. Whatever. Anyways, there's a crazy variety in set pieces here. It's like occasionally Rocket Knight would do something pretty creative, but it wouldn't do anything to blow your mind. It was generally a lot of, like, kind of the technical tricks that this game does, like, you know, the rotating tower and that kind of stuff that you see in this level, and it has those kinds of gimmicks. Or it's just, like, really kind of neat little kind of technical stuff, the stuff that must have taken... Ah, damn it. There's a trick to this guy if I can just time it right. But no, he's trolling me. His head case up there is trolling me, because the way you beat this guy fast is you want to get the time stop power while he's in the air. There we go. Now he's done. If you can just do that once, he's done. Otherwise, this is actually a pretty tricky boss. But... there we go. Skadoosh. Actually, this is probably the one gimmick in the game that almost overstays its welcome. I actually use this rotation gimmick for quite a while. They use it for the whole tower there, they use it for the little mini-boss beforehand, and then it comes back in the boss here as well, although a bit of a larger circle here. This is another one of my... this is probably... actually, I was gonna say this is like my favorite boss track in the game, and actually that's not even true. There's just so many good good tracks in this game. Actually, this is probably my third favorite boss tune in this game, but this is still a great boss theme. Pretty simple boss, but for some reason I had tons of trouble with this guy as a little kid. I'm kind of not paying attention right now because I had a little bit too many sips of Di Serono, I think. But yeah, I don't know what it was. I was stuck at this boss for the longest time as a kid. I remember back in the day, I think it was the first time I rented this game, I was just stuck on this guy. I'd make it this far and then no further. And actually that's another kind of change for the worse in the American version. Japanese version, you start the game with, I think, 2 or 3 continues. American version, 0 continues whatsoever. Or you can earn more throughout the game. And actually the way you earn continues in this game is really weird and counterintuitive. But, yeah, Japanese version is just a lot easier in general, actually. That was kind of the mindset, from what I understand, back in the day. It's the same with the Contra Hardcore American version. Oh, wow, I actually failed to get him. Usually he dies on that cycle. Again, no, I'm not really paying attention as much as I should. But, oh, I actually got to survive this next attack, too, if I actually don't buckle up, or buckle down here. And pay attention to what I'm doing. There we go. Stomp, 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 and run under the last one. There we go. This should be the last hit. So the continue system in this game is, so after you kill a boss, they start killing out or they stop popping out all these little keyhole blocks. And if you collect enough of them after the boss explodes... Oh, I missed it there! If you collect enough of those little keyhole blocks that pop out of the boss, you'll get a continue. That's a continue system in this game. It's such a weird thing, and once you get good at it, actually, you can get the continue almost every time. But before then, like as a kid, I never got the continue. I remember as a little kid, I didn't even know that continues were a thing in this game. Oh, he's just completely hidden by that little pillar there. Actually, another big difference in the Japanese version, which is another reason why I'm going to Let's Play that version instead, is they cut out all of the dialogue for the American version, which in general I actually like. I prefer this kind of wordless, kind of pantomime style of storytelling, especially in 2D platformers. Oh, this is it. This is the secret bonus point. Okay, we're going to wait for this one. But I'm just going to sit here not saying anything. Go get a drink, go get yourself a snack, perhaps a carbonated soda. And we're just going to wait this out until it happens. Take a sip of Di Serono, I guess, while I'm waiting for it. This could be a while. It takes like a good couple minutes sometimes. Sometimes you get it right away, sometimes you gotta wait a while. Excuse me. And yeah, this is just so fucking stupid right here that I just have to show it off for the LP. This is... In fact, I already have the idea of how I'm gonna do it. But, yeah, I'll save that for the LP. That'll be a nice little comedic surprise. Okay. Oh wow, I'm getting actually really bad luck here right now. Wow. Oh, there we go. Fucking finally. Okay. That actually wasn't nearly the worst luck I'd ever seen. Oh, that's okay. Looks like you were just in time. Yeah, that's the first secret bonus point for this level. You just wait there in front of the first weapon pickup, and you just wait for it to cycle into a happy face. And again, completely random as far as when that pops up. Sometimes you have to wait like 2 or 3 minutes for it. Sometimes it pops up immediately, and you just sit there waiting if you want to get all the bonus points. It's just so freaking dumb. It's like, how did I ever even discover that? Or I guess it must have just popped up randomly, like first cycle or something one time, and it's like, oh, I never knew about that. But yeah, it's just like, that is probably the dumbest hidden bonus point in the entire game. Or you know what? I should probably practice the basketball game too. Oh shoot, I didn't want to kill the mouth. This is actually a pretty tricky mini-boss if you kill the mouth. Basically this guy's, yeah, he's got the little turrets on the ship, which are just aimed at you, easy to dodge. He's got the mouth, where he just spits out snakes that are easy to dodge. But if you destroy the mouth, which I did there like an idiot, then he starts shooting out helicopters, which actually drop bombs that are really difficult to dodge. Thankfully, they don't actually do a ton of damage. But yeah, easiest way to beat this guy is to avoid killing the mouth. And actually, this is another thing that they kind of ruined for the American version. This boss goes on for way too long in the American version of this game. Japanese version, he goes down much faster. And again with the variety in this game, it's like now we're in, yeah, the 2D shmup section. And unlike with Rocket Knight Adventures, this is not a recurring thing in this game. This is the 2D shmup level, the horizontal shmup level, and after this level here, this is all we're gonna see of this. Never happens again throughout the rest of the game. Although they stick with it for a good long while here. We've actually got a mid-boss, then another level, and then the boss of the stage. And then that's all for the flying sections. Oh, the other thing that they changed for the American version, which is actually an improvement, I think, is they changed the names of all of the levels. It's like you see how it changes, you know, the curtain comes down and each level has its own little name. For the Japanese version, all of the levels just had generic names. There was like South Town, and I think this is the... I can't remember what this thing is called. It's like the High Roller or something. Something like that. Something Roller is the name of this guy. But in the American version, they changed the names for some reason. I don't know why. They changed all of the names of the levels to puns based on movie titles. So you see we've got Fly Hard here. And there's some of the puns are absolutely terrible. It's like South Town was changed to Terminator 2. Which, you know, obviously Terminator 2. And there's Mad Dog and Heady after Mad Dog. Some of them are like movie puns I didn't even get until years and years later. It was like, in fact, it was the weirdest thing. It was Mad Dog and Heady, which I never even understood was a movie pun back in the day. I just thought like, oh, some of these levels are based on movie titles and some of them aren't. And then it's like, and then I caught randomly on TV one night, there was the CTV late night movie, which I used to watch every Friday when I was a kid, or in high school. I used to watch those. And I saw Mad Dog and Glory one night, which is, it's like a mob movie, kind of, starring, oh, I can't remember who the star was. It was Robert De Niro and Uma Thurman, and I forget who the lead actor was. I think it might have been Dustin Hoffman. I don't remember. It's about like basically a random schmuck loser who ends up accidentally doing a favor for a mob boss and basically gets a hooker. Gets a hooker as a reward, and so they sort of a love story between him and the hooker, and how he sort of takes her away from the mob guy, and then there's conflict between them, and that's Mad Dog and Glory. It's actually a really good movie, but anyways, yeah, I saw the movie one day, and I actually didn't even know the title. That's sort of often what happened with those CTV late night movies back in the day, is I just like flip on, see what's on, and if it's good, I keep on watching it, and I usually didn't flip them on in time to see like the title and know what the actual movie was. And it wasn't until the movie was done, it's like, oh, what is this called? Oh, Mad Dog and Glory. Oh, that's like Mad Dog and Heady. That's a okay, so that level is a movie pun too. Jesus. And actually, that's another thing I'm gonna have to frickin' do if I LP this game, is I'm gonna have to like research every single level name in this game so I can like yeah, explain all of the stupid movies that they're named after, just to be thorough, just because I'm that kind of, I don't know what, OCD or whatever. I've noticed that with I actually went back and rewatched my Undertale, I rewatched both my Undertale playthroughs, the blind one and the complete pacifist run, and I just noticed so much stuff that, especially in the pacifist run, stuff that just like neat little details in the game that I forgot, that I didn't know about at the time and therefore didn't comment on. Whoops, oh shit, I wanted the laser. God damn it. Oh well. Actually, this is kind of the second best one. There's benefits and drawbacks to all the different weapon power-ups. for this boss. I prefer the rocket laser, but the benefit with this guy is that you can... first of all, don't have to be on an even keel with him to hit him. You can hit him from up above because of the three-way shot. And also, this is the only one that can change direction, actually. All of the other shots only fire to the right. Which is actually really helpful against the second form. But, yeah, the problem with this one is that it doesn't shoot through objects, which means that, yeah, stuff like that hand there blocks my shots, which is why you wanted the laser beam. Anyways, what was I saying? Completely forget. I was on movies. Oh yeah, OCD about Undertale. My Undertale playthroughs. Or in particular, there was one thing where I was listening to the soundtrack, and there's a track on the soundtrack that I didn't recognize. It's called, She's Playing the Piano. And, actually, there's a few different things. First off, the first thing that kicked off this whole sequence of revelations into gear was I listened and paid attention to Alphys's theme for the first time, and I realized... Whoop, I didn't even see what hit me there. That third form is really fucking annoying. But anyways, I really listened to Alphys's theme for the first time, and I realized that the True Lab was actually kind of a different version of Alphys's theme, like you know, the True Lab, it's all like doom, 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 doom. And that's like the same way that Alphys's theme goes. It's like you see shades of Alphys's theme in the True Lab theme. And then I noticed it again in She's Playing the Piano. Also has shades of Alphys's theme in it, but I couldn't for the life of me remember when in the game that it's actually played. And it turns out that, and it's just a little piano ditty, it's kind of just a little bit from Alphys's theme that's played kind of badly on a piano. It's kind of almost out of tune. But you hear it when you're right outside of Undyne's house, right before the date with Undyne. And so the implication between that and the title, and if you'll recall, in the if you examine the piano in Undyne's house, like yeah, she has a piano in her house, and she says that yeah, I play it, I know how to play it, and so the implication then is yeah, you hear this piano music, this piano rendition of Alphys's theme outside of Undyne's house, with the track title of that piano theme being She's Playing the Piano. And, yeah, the implication there being that Undyne was just jamming out on the piano when you're outside talking to Papyrus before the date with her. And furthermore, the tune that she's playing is Alphys's theme on the piano, which is just such an adorable... First of all, it's just a lovely little detail. Undyne, like, plays the piano, and if you pay attention to the track names on the soundtrack, then you'll actually realize that she's actually, practicing the piano there when you're waiting outside her house. And that's just a really cute little detail. And furthermore, she's playing Alphys's, like a little rendition of the middle of Alphys's theme on it, which again sort of further cements the connection between the two characters in kind of a really cute but subtle way. And I really wish that I had noticed that before the actual Let's Play, so I could have commented on it. So it's just, I don't know... There's just so much cool stuff in that game. It's just, yeah, if anything, I wish that I would have waited just a little bit longer to do my my pacifist run, just so I could have like a complete understanding. Oh yeah, this is a fun boss, and you can see there. This is the cool thing about that boss is because you got the flying power up. It's really easy to get your extra try there. So there, I got the continue. You can hear the voice. You got another try. Actually, all the bosses are freaking weird in this game too. The next boss after this one is actually more weird in the Japanese version. This is one of the this next boss coming up is one of the major changes between the American and Japanese version. It's like this weird, like, demon robot geisha is essentially the next boss in the Japanese version. In the American version, they just changed it to a kind of generic spaceman robot. And again, it's just such like... I don't know, it's not just variety in this game, but it's just the wackiness as well, combined with the way it sort of introduces really unique gameplay mechanics that are also really technically impressive as well. And also sort of the way that some of those mechanics sort of come back. You know what? I gotta practice my basketball here. I'm probably gonna practice basketball off camera as well, because it's for the main Let's Play. It's actually really important that I clear the bonus stages in order to get the extra final boss and get the true ending, or I guess really kind of a true bonus to the ending. You need to clear 4 bonus stages, which are really tedious, actually. I don't normally do it. Whoops, oh damn it. I don't normally do this when I'm just playing through the game for fun, but to show off the bonus ending, I need to clear all of the basketball stages. So this will be a good sort of barometer of how good my basketball skills are and how much practice I need. And all of the basketball stages are exactly the same, except you need more and more baskets for each one. First one, 5 baskets. Second one, 10. It's basically 5, 10, 20. By the time you get to the last basketball stage, you need 20 baskets, which is really annoying and tedious. In fact, I've already decided. And it can take a really long time, too, because the other thing that changes between the different basketball stages is the ratio of basketballs to bombs decreases the further you go on. So you're just, a lot of the time, you're just freaking sitting there. The fuck? That is unnatural. Die, you freaking whinnying cow abomination. Oh, there's a neat little... Okay, so this whole game we've been collecting keys from the different bosses, and now they sort of bring that back here, which is pretty cool. So basically the gimmick with this guy is that you've got to manipulate him so that when he like kind of bends over to hit you there, yeah, he kind of exposes his backpack, and then Heather there, or Fingy, or she's Heather / Fingy in the Japanese version. Oh, she did it! Nice. That's difficult to pull off. Sometimes if he turns like just, it's almost frame perfect, but if he turns like just a little bit too late and Heather jumps over to the other side just after he turns, you can get it where she misses the key. It's really difficult to trigger, so I'm probably not going to get a chance to show it off in the LP. But it's just really funny. I'm surprised that they even thought to include that. Okay, anyways, that's a pretty easy one. This is actually the second sticking point that I had in this game. It's like, first I got like super duper stuck on the Spinderella boss, and this was the second boss that I got like super stuck on. Because yeah, this right here is one of the hardest bosses in the game. That bit right at the beginning was just a prelude. Actually, the little track, the music track that goes on there, where it's just like boom, 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 is actually like a full-on track. It goes on for like a minute or so before looping, and but you don't actually get to hear it like in the game. It's just like in the actual game, it's just like boom, 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 boom. But if you actually listen to the soundtrack, it's like a full piece that goes on for like a minute. And again, it's a difference between the American and Japanese version. In the Japanese version, there's a bit of dialogue there that occurs. Ah, damn it. So okay, yeah, the trick with this guy is that he's using Heather there as a human shield, or not human shield? What is she? A Heady shield, I guess? Heady's the guy's name, though. Whatever. He's using her as a body block, essentially, so if you try to hit him while he's holding her up as a shield, then basically she'll hit you back. She'll unleash like this energy burst that just hits the whole screen and clobbers you for tons of damage. Anyways, yeah, this is a really tricky boss, actually. It took me a long time to figure out the gimmick with this guy, which is that... Which is, yeah, the target that he does there is aimed straight at your head, so what you want to do is... Whoops, okay, barely survived that. What you want to... messing up the timing, but the trick here is you want to fire off your head at timed intervals to get the target off you, just like that, so that it won't hit you. And as a kid, I was just too dumb to figure that out, so I just thought it was impossible. In fact, the only way I was ever able to beat this boss as a kid is when he does his little hand-grabbing thing here. When he basically, on certain... he's been doing the jumping attack, but sometimes instead of jumping, he'll do one final grabbing attack, and on that final slow grabbing attack, if you get him to shoot his claw off-screen, he'll grab a weapon power-up. And that's the only way I've ever been able to beat this guy, is actually abusing the invincibility head to kill this guy. I just keep grabbing the invincibility head over and over again and just cheese this guy, because I could not figure out how to, dodge the stupid targeted claw attack. God, I'm just getting no luck here. And honestly, to this day, that's still the way I prefer to do this boss. But, I'm just getting no luck. He's doing the jumping attack every time. Oh, the music in this boss fight is amazing as well. This is one of my, again, probably my favorite. Yeah, this is probably my favorite boss track in this game. It's pretty freaking sweet. There we go. Okay, this time. 5th time's the charm. Give me that weapon power up. And in fact, earlier... God damn it! And in fact, earlier on, when he grabs the bonus guy, that's sort of the triggering condition for him grabbing the weapon capsule. Anytime he can possibly grab a weapon capsule, there's a small random chance for him to grab the bonus guy, and then you can hit the bonus guy for a secret bonus point. Again, completely random. Not only do you have to get him to randomly trigger the final grabbing attack in order to even have a chance at getting the bonus guy, but it's just... Oh, frick, he hit the ground. Oh, no, I got it. Okay, here we go. This is the trick. So now I've got the clear head. He can't even damage me, and as long as I keep refreshing this... Oh, fuck! No! Okay. I didn't want to grab that. That's kind of the pitfall of this strategy. Son of a bitch. There's no checkpoints in this level either. I'm gonna have to redo this entire fight. So that's the thing that happens. The big fucking yellow fat-ass face. You do not want to grab that. That is a death trap, essentially. Fuck. Or actually, do I have to re-grab? Is that fucking horse cow still around here? There he is. Oh, I mistimed that so badly. It was such a good fight too. I normally don't do that well at that fight, like doing it legit and not abusing invincibility. And then sure enough, as soon as I finally get my chance to do the abusive strat, I fuck it up. Oh well. Take my last swig of Di Serono. This is strong stuff. I should probably not have drank it as quickly as I did. Oh well. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to not refresh my drink after this, because I do not want to celebrate Christmas with the extended family tomorrow with a fucking hangover. In fact, I should probably start drinking some water. I got a full glass of water here that I poured for myself before the stream, because I knew, you know, water is a good thing to drink when you're streaming or commentating or whatever. Have not taken a single sip of water in like the last 2 hours this stream has been going. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Well, this fight's off to an inauspicious start. Whoa! Oh, I could have got him to grab the power up there. Whoa! Damn it, this is not going well. Epic, still, epic music. This is actually a really cool boss fight. It's mainly the music and the aesthetic, actually. The whole, and also just the whole setup, where it's like the whole thing like turns to glass and breaks away, and then suddenly it's the enemy fortress. It's just a really cool intro, just a really cool boss fight. Just the intense music, though, is what really makes this, I think. I love this boss fight. There we go. Okay, don't fuck it up this time. In fact, don't even bother trying to refresh the thing unless it's completely safe. Still, actually, even then, this is probably... That was really risky. I was really close on, timing out into the next power-up there. Actually, I remember, I think it was the second Christmas that I second Christmas that I really started, like, noticing that all my family members are getting drunk off their asses every Christmas. Oh, shit, he threw away the power-up. Anyways, yeah, it's only been kind of a few years ago that I really noticed, like all of my extended family, like, gets drunk off their asses on Christmas, and I was just missing out every year. And kind of the first year that I noticed that, I got, like, really fucking wasted and had a terrible, terrible hangover on Christmas Day, which was really, really bad for me. Thankfully, that was the one year that we actually had Christmas here in, here in Saskatoon. So I was actually able to stay home on Christmas Day because we actually didn't have anywhere to go. Thankfully, the other extended family Christmas was cancelled on that day, which is really lucky for me. Why did I do that? Oh well, I got the hammerhead. Can I get one more hit with the hammerhead? Hammerhead is double damage. This is good stuff right here. Get him. Yeah. Cool. So he's almost dead. I think I've just about got this boss fight in the bag. And actually, it's kind of similar to Pluck. This game is extremely long and extremely difficult, and almost all of the difficulty is like backloaded, so it's like you're most likely to have to redo like the final few stages many, many times just because the difficulty ramps way up at the end of this game. The difference between this and Pluck is that I eventually learned this game. Like, I can consistently beat Dynamite Headdy on without continuing, just because it's learnable. Everything's very consistent. There's not really any bullshit per se. Once you, like, there's some stuff that's really difficult to deal with your first time through the game, some boss patterns that you kind of gotta learn through trial and error, but once you can figure it out, it's not terribly challenging from there on out. I can beat this game quite consistently. Oh, he's right near the edge. I'm not going to be able to get the secret, or I'm not going to be able to get the extra try. Yeah, those all went off screen before I could get him. Oh, maybe. There it is. I got another try. Not that I'll need it, but whatever. Oh, hey, I got all the bonus points too. That's right, he pulled bonus guy on that second grab. I'm actually kind of conflicted now about uploading this to the YouTube channel because I'm like, I don't, what's the word? I'm kind of stealing the thunder from my Dynamite Headdy Let's Play. This is like practically a Dynamite Headdy Let's Play right here. Oh well. Honestly, I don't. Actually, I know for a fact from the stats that virtually nobody watches any of my uploads that are more than like 30 minutes long. Or did I say virtually nobody? I meant literally nobody. But anyways, this is another section that actually really, I was just not smart enough to figure this out as a kid. This is actually one of the few sections of the game that like really like forces you to use the head power-ups. It's like a lot of the time the head power-ups are kind of just optional little things, and that's the other way that you avoid the rockets there. Like there are a lot of other areas in the game that kind of have the head power-ups as like optional side things, where it's like you can use the head power-ups to make things easier, or unlock like an alternate, easier strategy, or unlock like a side area or something. But this is actually really the first area in the game that the head power-up is like really required, and we're going to see more and more of that as we go through to the end of the game. And here we're just doing the same thing that we did in the previous section in the form of kind of the little mini-boss. There's an audio cue for when these things fire off, so I do have to kind of hold back my commentary a little bit so I can hear it. Oh, never mind, there we go. Secret bonus point incoming! Yeah, I didn't really think I had that much with the Phantom Pain stuff. At first I thought I'd make it into a series, and I'd like cut up all the videos into like hour-long episodes, and then I realized literally nobody is watching this. I'm spending all this time like agonizing about like what is the right point to cut the video. That's like a thing, because like I've got to rewatch the entire thing. I've got to decide how long the parts are going to be and where exactly I'm going to cut them. Like that shit, even something as simple as like where to place a cut takes a little bit of effort, and especially in like an 80-hour playthrough. So in the end, I just figured, you know what? Nobody is watching this anyways. I'm not even going to bother cutting it. I'm just going to upload the whole fucking 4-5 hour playthrough session, and whoever wants to can. And also, it's taking up tons and tons and tons of hard drive space on my computer here. So basically, I just want to upload it to YouTube, just for like archival purposes. This is a neat little mini boss here. Has his own unique music too, which is I guess not completely unusual for mid bosses. But yeah, basically, I kind of enjoy reviewing my own videos from time to time, just to see my own reactions to interesting parts of video games. That's basically what I was doing with Undertale just recently. And yeah, basically, and yeah, even if it's just for my own personal benefit, it's better having those frickin' 300 gigabyte worth of videos on YouTube as opposed to my frickin' hard drive. I lost a little bit of life there, so I think I'm gonna want to recover this. I babbled for like... the whole gimmick with the Metal Gear series was that I was just gonna pretend that I had no audience, and it was just, you know, it's a game I'm looking forward to, so I'm not even gonna bother with the commentary thing that much. I'm just gonna react naturally and just play the game as if no one was watching, and just sort of give pithy little comments throughout as if I were doing my own little internal monologue, like I kind of do when I'm playing games on my own. Yeah, timer's one way to do it. Although, yeah, I think you're a little bit behind on the stream, but that's the thing, is I really didn't want to do any sort of, like, you know, recording, like, artificial recording stuff for Metal Gear. I didn't want anything to, like, affect my natural experience of that game. I just wanted to play it in whatever way came naturally, without worrying about, like, you know, the audience or recording or even commentary that much. Just, like, kind of when I'm playing games on my own, I often, like, kind of have my own little internal monologue running, just kind of thinking about things. So the whole idea with the Metal Gear playthrough was just sort of me playing through the game like I naturally play games when I'm not playing them for, you know, YouTube and audiences and stuff, and then just sort of think out loud as I do so, was the idea behind that series. Now, of course, that didn't actually end up happening, and I actually ended up rambling on and on for very extended periods of time about the Metal Gear canon and the connections. Oh yeah, LPs, that's a good idea, actually. I actually did it for the latest Plock playthrough. I kept an eye out. Yeah, for Plock, starting Plock, I'm gonna try to do that, but the problem is once I start commentating, I get on kind of a roll, and I don't like breaking things up. Just because I noticed a lot of the time, especially in early parts of videos, because that's often, you kind of need to grab people, or at least not drive them away within, like, the first, like, 10 seconds of your video, or 10-15 seconds of your video. In fact, if I'm checking my stats, that's typically most people who happen across my videos stop watching within the first 10 seconds, which is, you know, not exactly flattering, but I kind of know that from my own personal life, that most people can't stand to converse with me for more than, yeah, 10 seconds. But, but yeah, anyway, so it's due to the fact that it kind of takes me a little while to get into gear with the commentary sessions. I don't really want to break up the flow, so I really like doing stuff in, like, just one big long take, without breaking stuff up, like, see you next time, and then welcome back, and that kind of stuff. It's just, it really breaks up my flow, so I really prefer to do stuff just all at once. Although for Plock, I actually did experiment with, oh, you know what? Oh, that big rock is in the wrong position. Oh well, we'll go with the medium rock. This guy actually does take kind of the opposite of the sun guy. This guy takes increased damage from the big rock, which kind of makes, you know, makes logical sense because physics. Anyways, I actually have uploaded the entire Phantom Pain playthrough. I just haven't bothered flagging them yet because who gives a shit. I've been meaning, basically it's kind of my ace in the hole from when if I ever get behind on creating content. Just if I have, like, nothing in the queue to put on the YouTube channel, that's when Phantom Pain will start going back up. And honestly, I like putting up stuff that I know that at least a few people are gonna like anyways, so... This is such a... I like putting up cool games that I think people will enjoy. Like this, honestly, even independent of my commentary, even if people don't like or aren't crazy about my commentary, I like doing interesting games that are just kind of interesting in and of themselves. Just fun to watch and do a bunch of cool stuff. Where it's like, games where you can kind of let the game do most of the work, and there's not a lot of pressure on me to make it interesting. Because because crazy shit is happening all the time, and it's just, look at this, what the hell is this? Who came up with this? And this isn't even... Oh, fuck. This is actually the toughest boss in the game, in my opinion. He's actually somewhat more difficult in the Japanese version. They slightly rebalanced this guy for the American one. And that wasn't even the full gimmick with this fight. So yeah, you flip him around, now he's angry, now he's gaining speed on me. So you kind of gotta flip him back and forth. Actually, what I really want to do is I want to leave him angry for a good little while so they can gain some distance. Damn it. That guy blocked me. So the trick with this guy is, this is a really tough boss fight because basically this is like a big long obstacle course, and it doesn't loop at any point. They just made like this insanely long like gauntlet of pain for you to get through, and it gets harder and harder the further you go through it. So really the trick with this guy is to, just kill him as fast as you can. You want to grab the hammer, you want to get in all the hits you can, tank all the damage, and just kill him. Just blitz him before the hard parts really start coming up. And so to that end, you really want to abuse that hammer power-up. So yeah, that's the trick with that boss. And actually, he's even harder in the Japanese version because he has a lot more health. It's a lot trickier to kill him quickly in the Japanese version. Or was it the other way around? I don't even remember. They rebalanced that boss where in one version, the target is a lot smaller. Like, you gotta hit him like right inside the ear canal. Whereas, but he has less health. Whereas in the other version, he's got a bigger target. You can hit the whole ear. So you got a much bigger hitbox to deal with. So it's a lot easier to land hits. But he has a lot more health. There's actually a tricky bonus point here that's probably one of the toughest ones to get in the game. Basically, you gotta break all the boxes in this section to get the secret bonus point here. Problem is that the only way to break most of the boxes is with the hammerhead, which means you're on kind of a limited timer. I don't even know why I care about bonus points. It literally makes no difference. Oh, fuck. Nope, this is a failed. Failed. Oh wow, that was lucky. Oh, that was super lucky. Oh, wow. Just iframe abuse like crazy. Fantastic. Actually, you know what? I think there might be 2 bonus points here. One for gaining all of the 500 power-ups and one for breaking all the blocks. I don't remember. At some point in the game, there's a secret bonus point for grabbing all the 500-point items in the area. And I keep forgetting exactly where it occurs. Whoa! That was close. This is another neat little instance where the head power-ups are mandatory. Whoa! Okay. And that's the tricky part of that one. Got the secret bonus point there. You gotta make that shot where you break the 2 blocks at once before your hammer runs out there. And actually, coming up here is probably also one of the toughest parts in the game. Thankfully, you can afford to die once, and there's a checkpoint, and you can get your health back, but I usually die at least once in this section coming up. Oh, incidentally, random aside, the SF on that robot there stands for Super Finangler. Yep. If you don't believe me, you'll see proof in the credits. I don't remember, or actually, it had a different name in the Japanese version. I don't remember what it was. That's going to be interesting, actually, when I actually play the, Japanese version for the... Fuck, there's a banana there! I forgot about the banana! Shit! So anyways, the gimmick with this is just a standard auto-scrolling segment. Except you've got this cat guy here, who's basically chasing after you and grabs onto you and prevents you from moving. So you gotta dodge him, and you gotta dodge the lasers, which are very well aimed, actually. Like, they lead you if you try to just move from side to side. Again, you've got... I keep calling him Cat Guy. Actually, he's a bear, apparently. Like, the brown cat bear thing's name is Trouble Bruin, which is, you know, Bruin as in bear. So yeah, he's a bear. And in fact, in the Japanese version, he's called Maruyama, which I don't remember exactly. Or no, Maruyama has nothing to do with bears, but actually his theme song has a voice clip where it says Kuma, which is Japanese for bear. Maruyama might have some sort of pun to do with bears as well, I'm not sure, but I do remember that Kuma was the, damn it, Japanese word for bear. And actually, that's the other super difference with the Japanese version, is that in the Japanese version, they gave this guy the Kirby treatment for the American version. In the Japanese version, he was purple, and he had a smiley face, and he had like rosy red cheeks, and it was just hilarious. He was not menacing in the slightest. He was just sort of, not even cute, just kind of fucking weird looking. But yeah, in the American version, they made him brown as a bear should be, and gave him angry eyes and a frowny face, which was great. I keep using that phrase, the Kirby treatment, in my Let's Plays. I don't know if that's actually a well-known thing in gaming. Basically, if you go on Game FAQs and look up any given Kirby game, starting in round about the Game Boy Advance era, any of the Game Boy Advance Kirby games, and if you look at the differences between the American box art and the Japanese box art, in the Japanese box art of Kirby games, Kirby always has, he's always, he's a little pink, cute puffball. He's always got a big old smile on his face. In the American box art, though, they always just, Photoshop it, so he's got, a mad face and angry eyebrows, like he's gonna, smack the shit out of you if you, I don't know, pinch his rosy red cheeks or something. Okay, I figured it was sort of common knowledge in, video games. In, sort of definitely classic gaming circles, but yeah. It just occurred to me that I've actually used that phrase a lot in my Let's Plays, just because it occurs so much in Japanese to American localizations in this era. Like, I remember it happened in Rockin' Cats was the big one. Like, all of the bosses got the Kirby treatment there, where they just gave them, these pissed off faces for the American version. This is another boss where my stupidity as a little kid made this boss practically impossible for me to beat. This guy has a ton of different attacks that are completely randomized. There's no pattern to it. And again, sometimes specific heads are absolutely required. Oh shit. Okay, absolutely required for you to survive. Like that one there. You need to be tiny to dodge that. And so how do you see it coming? Well, okay, if you're an intelligent sort of adult, like I am these days, it's pretty obvious. He's got the little crystal ball there. It flashes, and then, it flashes to a particular color or pattern on that crystal ball he's holding. And then that shows you the attack that's coming up. So mind you, it's kind of bullshit, because there's a bit of, trial and error as far as determining what the attacks are going to be. Like, you don't know which heads are required for which attacks until you've, fought the boss and seen the attacks. But, once you learn the symbols, then, you know which heads to get. And, whoops, this is another one. I want the tiny head. Shit. Okay, if I'm lucky, I can still dodge this without the tiny head. Come on. Yes! That was super lucky. Sometimes that big notch is either too far away, or sometimes it doesn't even, line up on screen. So you can end up just getting crushed there. Unavoidably. Oops. Oh, it's doing it again. Now, technically, the tiny head is actually the only one that's actually required to dodge any of the attacks. Like, none of the other heads are absolutely required to dodge any of his attacks. There are some of them that make things easier for certain attacks. But I'm actually getting really lucky here. He's got some really tricky attacks that I really can't dodge consistently, but he keeps using the easiest ones. But anyways, as a kid, I did not realize that the crystal ball signified which attack he's gonna use. And I thought it was just bullshit. I was just like, oh, this is the stupidest, most unfair garbage boss I've ever seen. So eventually I figured out that little trick that I mentioned, which is that Oh, this is the one. I don't even know how to dodge that fucking attack. It's like, it seems it's like, oh, you just jump it. He's firing the spark balls, so you just jump it. The way jumping works in this game, though, is that, basically, you have a fixed jump height. So no matter how long you press the jump button, he'll jump the same height. Like you see, once I get control here, yeah, I hold it down, or I just tap it super quick, and no matter what I do, oops, come on, damn it. Anyways, no matter what you do, you got a fixed jump height. And the way that those sparks that travel along the ground, the way the intervals are set up, it's like almost impossible to dodge them. Just like they come out too fast for you to jump over them. It's like you jump, and then you've got a fixed height, so you just land on the next one. Damn it. Oh, this is a tricky one without the hammer. Okay, oh, there. The timing on that is super tight. And also there's a secret bonus point there. With the hammer, you can destroy the spikes. And actually, if you destroy all of the spikes in a single attack, you get a secret bonus point. But it's one of the toughest ones in the game to get. I almost never go for it. Damn it, I'm not doing well on this fight. Anyway, so the way I beat this fight as a kid without realizing the trick with the crystal ball... There we go, ready this time. There, that's the way you dodge that with the hammer. The way I beat this as a kid is I just pick the tiny head every single time. The problem with the tiny head, though, is that it does reduced damage. It does, like, I think it's even less than half. I think you do, like, a third of your damage with the tiny head, which meant that this is, like, a super-duper long, epic final boss as a kid. Because it took, like, 3 times longer than it should, because I was taking the tiny head every time. And again, final boss music here, insane, incredibly intense, one of my favorites of all time. And again, just the variety and like the movements it goes through. It's like this final boss theme. It has like movements to it. It's amazing. I love it. Whoa, green means this one. And actually, honestly, the whole memorizing the crystal ball thing isn't even that bad. There's really only 2 that you need to memorize. If it's flashing or orange, you go tiny. Anything else, basically hammer. Oop. Oh, God. Or actually, okay. Actually, that's not entirely true. This one's actually really tough to dodge without certain head power-ups. God. Yeah, I get wrecked by that if I don't have, like a star shooter or a spread shot or whatever it's called. Okay, this could be close. Damn it. Damn it. These things do tons of damage, too, so if I fuck it up, I'm probably, if not dead in one hit from those spikes, then... pretty damn close. In fact, no, let's cancel it and hope we get a hammer. There we go, barely got it in time. The laser also does a lot of damage. In fact, all of this guy's attacks do tons of damage. The laser, the crushing ceiling, the spikes. The sparks are tankable. Oh, he cannot believe it. Got him. Nice. And that is Dynamite Headdy. And again, they cut out all the dialogue, so even the whole point of the story is like complete loss. And in fact, they changed the ending sequence here. In the original Japanese plot, there was like some kind of thing where it's like the hero medal thinks that he's like destined for ultimate power or something, so he goes rogue and becomes Dark Demon. And then by defeating him, Headdy claims the hero medal and brings peace to the land. So basically, the ending is the same, except it's the hero medal like sticks to Headdy at the end. But in the American version, they changed it to a big old glomp from Heather, which is fine. Oh yeah, one other thing that I never noticed as a kid, that it really only struck me in adulthood. Never noticed it as a kid about this game. Heather has got like a big old rack on her that I just like never noticed as a kid. And like a skin-tight like fucking leotard or something too, which is weird. God, it's like I'm curious as to see whether there's like Rule 34 Dynamite Headdy X Heather on the internet. I seriously doubt it, and frankly, I don't even want to fucking know. I mean, I certainly don't want to see it, and I'm pretty sure I don't even want to know. But, and actually, yeah, the whole conceit of this game, too, just the whole concept, is, you know, it's treasure. But yeah, Treasure always does like weird, ultra creative, just like zany, off-the-wall stuff with the games. But this one, even more so than most, I think. I think the whole like sort of theatrical, like stage performance, puppet show aesthetic is just like really creative, and they use it to like really good effect and a lot of points in the game. And it's just honestly, this is actually, like I said, this is one of my favorite 2D platformers of all time, and it is indeed my favorite Treasure game. I think this is the finest game that Treasure has ever produced. I like it even more than Gunstar Heroes and Alien Soldier, which is high frickin' praise, because I love the hell out of Gunstar Heroes and Alien Soldier, but this one is just a lot more refined than the others, I think. It's like every other Treasure game is a little bit rough around the edges, I think, and it's like they're almost there, and it's like they're like you know, like 90% of the way there, but it's just like a little bit rough. It's like not quite, doesn't quite have that polish. Whereas this game here feels like exceptionally refined, exceptionally polished, but yet doesn't at all sacrifice that kind of Treasure zaniness and creativity. So I really think this is, yeah, my favorite Treasure game and one of my favorite 2D platformers of all time. Wonderfully suitable for, yeah, holiday cheer. Nothing to do with Christmas, but, you know, what games really do have anything to do with Christmas? I guess there's, what, Christmas Nights? I did the Kickle Cubicle thing a few years ago, or I guess that was probably 2 years at this point. Didn't really go well. The game ended up, yeah, Kickle Cubicle ended up being way tougher than I thought. I thought I'd beat it in like an hour, and I ended up like getting like a third of the way through in an hour, so I just quit and uploaded it anyways, like just an incomplete first third of the game. I actually returned to it too. Kickle Cubicle is a fine fucking game. In general though, I think that puzzle games just don't work as Let's Plays. Especially as blind Let's Plays, like the frickin' Kickle Cubicle thing, my goodness. Oh, this track here and the ending too, also one of my favorite ending themes of all time. This is just great. Okay, this bit here is, you know, kind of on the downturn here, but... And yeah, you get to see all of the names of all the enemies too, which was a thing that games did back in those days. And again, all the names are completely different from what they are in Japanese. That's another major sprite, Monsmeg there, completely changed in the Japanese version. In the Japanese version, he was like this giant porcelain doll. Or you know what, I bet you Super Tank Machine here probably doesn't have a different name in Japanese. Funky Jeep Man. I almost feel that they kind of missed an opportunity here, since all of the level names are like based off of movies. I feel that all of the enemy names should have been puns based on actors, but you know, might have run into copyright shit, who knows, but whatever. It's a bit of a minor nitpick. Okay. What are we gonna play next? What did I say was next on the LP chopping block? I might give Sparkster a shot here. It's a bit of a step down. I'm not the biggest fan of Genesis Sparkster. It's probably my least favorite game in the series, but there's a few things that it does exceptionally well that I absolutely love. It's just ruined by basically the level design. I think I'm gonna I'll do one credit through Sparkster, and if I fail to get through the game in one credit, I'll just move on to the next one. See how much I remember about that game. And yeah, I'm actually surprised at how well I did at this game. Like, I expected to beat this in one without having to continue, just because I play this game. I've played this game a lot. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. But it's been a long time since the last time I played it, so I'm actually relatively impressed that it went so smoothly. I just about need to refresh my water here. Or in fact, yeah, there's actually even, and they've got the credits after this, and the actual credit roll actually goes on for a really long time in this game as well. So actually, I'm going to take this or you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity to just go refresh my water here, and I'll be back in a bit. Oops, I got my microphone on. Oh my goodness, it's still going. I swear to God, between the curtain call and the end credits, this game has like the longest frickin' credit roll of like almost any 16-bit game I've ever played. I've actually got myself an orange, which I think you were around that one stream. I thought I should have learned my lesson the last time I tried this, that oranges are not a stream food, but thankfully I'm just watching credits at this point, so I've got both hands to work with this time. Yeah, Smiley there, like, doesn't... I think even if you read the manual for the American version of Dynamite Headdy, Smiley does not figure out into the plot whatsoever. I think or something about just he was kidnapped by Dark Demon or something, but he's really like kind of the central, like the main villain in the Japanese plot. He's like a kind of a central character. Oh, and then this here, I love the music here too. In fact, oh, way back in the day, a long time ago, I was a piano player, like not professionally or anything. It's like around about 8th grade, I started taking piano lessons, and mainly for the purpose because I started getting into like video game music a lot, and I remember that was around the time I discovered not the video game pianist, he came later, but oh, Fantasy Reborn, which is does Fantasy Reborn still exist? I remember that's like an ancient, like from Web 1.0 days. Fantasy Reborn was this website where this dude basically set out to, as this project he wanted to do, he wanted to make piano renditions of like every single piece of music in every single Final Fantasy game, which at that point I don't think Final Fantasy IX had even been released at that point. I think so. It was like Final Fantasies 1 through 8, and he was like going through it very slowly. But I just thought it was such a cool idea, the idea of like doing video game music on piano, and occasionally he'd do like music from other games. So I thought, oh, I'd love to do that. And also, I was starting to get into jazz music at that time as well. That was around the same time I saw the documentary about Thelonious Monk, Straight No Chaser, and I got really into Thelonious Monk. So, but there was sort of a convergence of those two things made me want to really start to learn to play the piano. So I started taking lessons, and then yeah, years later, I started sort of transcribing music from video games, and I was never very good at it. And this was one of the ones this is sort of the main one that's like, if there's one track that I definitely want to transcribe and learn to play on piano, it's this one. And I actually made decent progress at it. The problem is that this is actually like a really long piece here. It's incredibly difficult and rather complex. I got like right until about this part with the arpeggios, I made it about that far, and then I just couldn't figure out the rest. Like I couldn't figure out the notes, couldn't figure out how to make it sound right, so I just kind of gave up from there. But like the first third of this ending credits theme here, I used to be able to play on piano back in the day. Sadly, I've actually kind of fallen out of the piano thing since then. I pawned my piano, or actually I sold it to a friend who's actually a professional piano player for a bit of money that I needed desperately back at the time. I've been meaning to buy it back. It's something I've been kind of wanting to get back into, because I did enjoy playing me some piano around. I just love putting on little shows for my family. Like around about Christmas time, I'd do like Charlie Brown music. That was the other thing. I'm a huge Vince Guaraldi fan. Vince Guaraldi's like probably just about my favorite musician of all time, I think. And I'd love playing like stuff off the Charlie Brown Christmas album. I'd play O Tenenbaum and Green Sleeves and the Vince Guaraldi renditions of a few Christmas songs, and I just love playing those for the family around Christmas time. And also, it's like also for a while when I still had illusions of actually getting a piano back and starting up the video game music transcription thing. I started making like kind of lists of game music, like modern game music I had heard that I wanted to do piano stuff for. And yeah, I remember there was stuff from I think I still have that list kicking around somewhere on my hard drive. There's like a bunch of stuff from Persona 4 that I thought sounded pretty cool, that would make for a pretty simple piano transcription and sound really good. Or I had an idea for a piano rendition of Tails' theme from Sonic Adventure. You know, I think it's called Believe in Myself. The chorus goes, I wanna fly high so I can reach the highest. That song? I don't know why I'm really fucking drunk now, apparently. But yeah, you know, the I Wanna Fly High song, I think would be really good as like kind of almost a gospel style, like a piano tune. So I have kind of the idea in my head to make that into a thing. But yeah, you know, that was like probably 6 or 7 years ago at this point, and I mean, I guess I could have gotten myself a fucking piano instead of this brand new fancy PC here, but I didn't enjoy the piano quite that much. I think the PC has brought me more joy in the long run, or even in the short term, or in any terms you want to make it about. Yeah, PC was still the right choice. Oh yeah, the Believe in Myself is the best vocal track from the original Sonic Adventure. I hate what they did to it with the sort of rearranged version in Sonic Adventure 2. Actually, weirdly enough, I don't actually play that many 3D Sonic games myself. Like, I actually really like the original Sonic Adventure. It's just really charming. I kind of put it in the same category as Mega Man Legends. It's just very charming characters. The gameplay is kind of rough around the edges, but you know, it's early 3D. It's got a lot of creativity to it. I appreciate what they attempted to do with the variety between the characters and stuff. I honestly think it's like I think the game gets an undeservedly bad rap. I think that the original Sonic Adventure is a legit, like, classic, in my opinion. Problem is it was also overshadowed by Mario 64, which is inarguably the superior game. That game was just like years ahead of its time in terms of like getting things right as far as 3D controls go. That game is just amazing how long it took like the whole rest of the game industry to catch up to Mario 64, just in terms of 3D platform games. But still though, Sonic Adventure was a really, really good game. It's definitely on my LP list. I think I'm probably, at some point I want to do Let's Plays of the whole Sonic, not the whole Sonic series, but all the Sonic games that I like. Got to do Sonic 3 and Knuckles at some point. Then Sonic CD, and then probably Sonic Adventure after that, and then I just kill the whole thing, because there were no good Sonic games after Sonic Adventure, in my opinion. Sonic Adventure 2 was garbage. They sucked out all the good parts of it, and they left in the bad parts, and put in more of the bad parts, and extended them, and made them worse. Fucking hated Sonic Adventure 2. I'm trying to think now, because I wasn't a Nintendo 64 kid. I never actually owned one. A lot of my friends and relatives did, but when I was over at their houses, we mostly played GoldenEye. because that was the multiplayer game back in the day. There was what? There was... Alright. You know what? Oh, I actually gotta press something here. Now that I think of it, I'm actually not really up to speed with the N64 library. I've played a lot of the Nintendo first-party titles, like I know Mario 64 really well. I know Star Fox 64. I know Paper Mario. I think that's about it. There's a lot of Nintendo 64 games. Oh yeah, I know Turok Dinosaur Hunter as well. But and GoldenEye, I suppose. Other than that, though, I really haven't played like any N64 games. I've never played Banjo-Kazooie. I've never played Donkey Kong 64. I've never played Jet Force Gemini. And honestly, those are the only N64 classics I even know of. Anyways, this is the bonus bit. So basically, you have to go through the 4 basketball stages. Each basketball stage you clear gives you a secret number. And then if you get all the secret numbers, you unlock the door and fight the bonus final boss and get the extra ending. But I didn't bother doing that on this playthrough. Anyways, or you know what? You're in here, Captain Luigi. Do you have any requests as far as what to play next? I'd be honestly up for whatever you want to see. Like I'm not. Like I said, you know, Sparkster. If you don't give a shit, I'll go with Sparkster, which is kind of my first knee-jerk, top of my head idea. But I'd be able to play like just about anything at this point. I guess I'll just let that sit and just blab. You know, I guess I'll load up Sparkster just in case. But, or I'll just crash my emulator. Come on. Get back. Don't you die on me. Okay, there we go. Or I don't know, if I'm in such a good mood, I might as well maybe just go ahead with the Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like LP, just do it live. Fuck it. I'll write it and we'll do it live right here on Christmas Eve. Anyways, so if I'm going to play Sparkster, it's got to be at least hard mode. Very hard is overkill and doesn't add anything to the game. Hard, I believe, is necessary for the best ending. In fact, very hard is so stupid in this game. They like basically... well, I've basically got like the complete Genesis, Super Nintendo library at my fingertips, plus probably just about any game you'd care to name on Steam as well. Honestly, just name a game, and if I don't own it, I'll look into it and maybe put it on my future purchase list. I love getting game recommendations. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm so happy. It's when people don't know the games that I play here on the channel, and I get to introduce people to all this awesome stuff for the first time. That's just I get a real kick when I find out that people are like experiencing these games for the first time through my streams and Let's Plays and stuff. Sadly, this is not exactly a great game, but it's got a lot of really cool, interesting things going on in it. Honestly, it's... Actually, back in the day, I loved the hell out of this game. It wasn't until years later I sort of came back with more of a critical perspective on this style of game, and I kind of realized, yeah, this game's kind of bullshit in a lot of ways. This little intro sequence here is kind of neat, though. You can actually press start to skip this whole intro. This is like a... If you sit and wait through the whole intro, you get this little kind of bonus robot fight here, which is actually required. In order to get the true ending, you need to sit through the entire intro and do this robot fight and win it, which is really weird. But yeah, basically, I mentioned in my Rocket Knight Let's Play how there's kind of some superficial similarities between Sparkster and Sonic the Hedgehog, and but there's enough differences where you can see it's like, okay, there's like this speedy blue rodent, but there's enough differences that it's like, okay, it's not a total ripoff. This is kind of the point where they decided to start making Sparkster into a total Sonic ripoff. So the gimmick with this game is you gotta collect these flashing swords throughout the game. You get the 7 magic swords, and then you can transform into Gold Sparkster. And yeah, get the true ending that way. So yeah, it's basically just a complete ripoff. And they kind of severely changed Sparkster's design at this point as well. He's kind of less Mickey Mouse and more kind of a modern, or I guess then modern, kind of a 90s cartoon character design, kind of more angular, a lot more sharp corners. It's got like a sort of less of an old-timey look to him, and kind of more of a badass, more attitude, more Sonic, frankly, to him in this game. Yeah, exactly. They ripped off the Chaos Emerald thing. I just realized I'm trying to play this game with one hand here. Gotta finish my orange. Okay. Sorry, guys. There's awesome playing about Sparkster. Okay, chew and swallow. Okay, so the awesome thing about this game is the way that they completely reworked the way the jetpack works from the original game. In this game, the thing charges automatically, which means you can, and it charges very quickly too, so you can basically use it completely freely. Like, before I even fucking... Okay, I messed it up there, but before I even touch the ground, before I even start descending, practically, I can just stay in the air the whole time. And you know, the way he bounces, and it's a lot more easily controllable, and it's just awesome. You've got so much freedom of movement here. It's just amazing. It's just, the game controls like a dream. I love the way, just the rocketing off of things, and just the freedom to fly through the air, and yeah, like this, just bouncing off of stuff, rocketing into guys. It just feels really good. This is one of the most, like, I remember I said that on my, whoops, oh, damn. Yeah, on my, Freedom Planet playthrough that I did for the Freedom Planet stream, I remember mentioning that how that game was just a joy to play because you got so much freedom of movement. And a lot of that comes from the fact that they kind of ripped off the controls from Sparkster there, because the, what's her name? Lilac in that game had basically Sparkster's rocket attack with a slightly longer charge time. And so it's like, everything I said about that game basically applies here, where it's just, you got so much freedom of movement and so much cool stuff you can do. And it's just, oh, I love the basic controls in this game. Now, yeah, the problem is what do you do with the level design in a game like that? And of course, one thing that's very obvious is you need big open levels. It's like, if you just go down like these tight, narrow corridors, what's even the frickin' point? It's like you got all this... You can fly through the air, but there's nowhere to fly. You just, bounce through these like tight little corridors, and you can fly, but there's nowhere to fly. You're like a bird in a cage, or I guess a possum in a tiny level that's only one screen high. So the way you need to do a game like this is you need massive, expansive levels with lots of freedom to explore, and basically you need Freedom Planet levels. That game got it exactly right, what you need to do with these kinds of controls. Sparkster, unfortunately, kind of drops the... It's kind of hit or miss. Some levels are really good. I actually think this first level here is actually quite strong. Yeah, you can see here, like, we got, basically abuse the rocket attack to get up to... There's actually a hidden wall here. There we go. Oh, yeah, there's the roulette system as well. Yeah, basically, spin the wheel, and different things come up. Every 10 gems you spin the wheel, and goodies come up. Problem is, and that's the reason I hate playing on very hard mode, because in basically very hard mode, and yeah, there's our first flashing chaos sword. And yeah, basically, what was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, on very hard mode, it effectively takes the roulette system out of the game, because literally every single time you spin the roulette on very hard mode, you get the bomb. Where, yeah, basically if you get 3 bombs like that, a bomb drops on your head, and you got to avoid it or else take damage. Or I don't want to drop down there, actually. Yeah, so that's kind of bullshit. So it basically turns all of the gems into, like, basically anti-pickups, where you want to avoid the gems so that you don't get a bunch of bombs dropping on your head all the time, which is kind of shitty. And it's just, yeah, no, I like the fun of the roulette system. I like collecting gems and having random power-ups fall on my head. I like that system, and I hate that very hard mode just kind of strips that away and turns it into something really annoying. And this is kind of another example of the way that the level design in this game kind of fails a lot of the time. This is just some tedious nonsense here. I like the concept of this, the whole idea that you're using, because, you know, you see you've got your kind of two levels of your rocket attack here. If you let the gauge charge up a second time, you get your spin attack, or they call it the corkscrew. And you basically use that to unscrew these screws here out of this tower. And that's all you do. You just sit on here, wait for the shit to stop spinning, and then unscrew the things. Really neat concept. Not so amazing in execution. Or yeah, you know what? I forgot that you could hang out in the center, though. I could be doing this a little bit more efficiently that way. But yeah, neat idea, but in practice, it's just kind of tedious. You just sit here waiting for your screw to come up. And in fact, I don't even think it's going to come around. Oh, nope, there it is. Got lucky. But yeah, it's just kind of long and annoying, and there's not much going on there, despite the cool idea. Oh, this area is actually... So this game also does kind of the digest style of old-school Konami games, where if you play on easy mode, it basically cuts the levels short and cuts out a lot of parts of the game. And this is actually one part that gets cut out. Or actually, even the previous section. This and the previous section get cut out from the game on easy mode. Whoops, jumped right into that. God, am I on very hard mode or something? 2 bombs in a row? Gosh. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so this is... And honestly, when I was a little kid, I was kind of... I don't know what it was. If it was like... I had like a weird... I was like literally like afraid of game difficulty back in the day. Like I would get like just the idea of like a difficulty game would make me like kind of nervous. And like I wouldn't want to... Like I preferred playing games on the easiest setting. Just because I felt like I had like weird like issues with games back in the day. I'd get like I'd literally like, you know, throw tantrums when I'd have difficulties with a game and got stuck in certain places. It's just I got like really into it, and yeah, just threw like giant autistic fits when I had difficulties with stuff sometimes. So for that reason, a lot of the time I didn't like... I would typically play games on the easiest settings. So actually for the longest time, I didn't even know that these levels existed in this game, just because I'd always play the game on easy mode. And then one time, I think it was, yeah, after the first time I beat the game on easy, and it said, oh, actually, you need to play the game on normal to get the full ending and see the true... you know, to actually beat the game. So I was like, okay, I'll play it on normal. And then I played it on normal, and it's like, what? What is all this? What did I do to deserve this nonsense? And as it turns out, the levels they decided to cut... Oh wow, this is... Just everything is glitching out on me tonight. There is supposed to be another vine wall up here. Like, yeah, that bit where you can see the leaves at the top are like, there's a little gap there. There's supposed to be like another little vine pillar on the side there, and it just did not show up. I mean, it was there before, and it disappeared. The hell is going on here? Anyways, what I was about to say is that the sections that they cut for easy mode are well chosen. This area here is actually surprisingly difficult for a first level. Oh my god, what is going on? It's like I said, it's like the game's like ingested my Disaronno or something. Okay, actually that's right. So your screw attacks here actually, or your corkscrew attacks actually deal more than double damage against enemies. So you actually want to wait for it to charge up fully before you rocket this guy. to get the most efficient. And also, the timing, I used to think this boss was bullshit too, because the way the timing is on the trampoline, it's like you kind of bounce at the same time he does. So it's like almost impossible to dodge his attacks just by bouncing. The trick, which I eventually realized later in life, is that you need to abuse your rocket attack to adjust your height and dodge his attacks. It's actually a really cool boss. This here is kind of the point where the level design in this game kind of falls down, I think. Because, like I mentioned, it's like you want these big open levels, free-flowing, tons of room to fly around, and instead we've got an auto-scrolling section that's barely more than one screen high. Rocket attack isn't even useful here. You just sit around and wait for shit to pop up and sword it. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's just a waste of the rocket pack mechanic. And it's like, I've gone about this, as always, there's, like I said, the same themes I go on about in all of my Let's Plays of these types of games. Whoa, that was close. On the plus side, though, you do get to do those fancy little recoveries with your rocket attack, but yeah, in general, I just hate auto-scrolling sections in principle. In 2D scrolling, in 2D platformers. They're just, there's no way to speed them up, they're just boring most of the time, tedious. Oh! There we go. And especially in this game, where it's like, in addition to the normal problems with auto-scrolling sections, you've got that aspect of wasted potential, and also I think the auto-scrolling sections in this game are just too frequent and numerous and go on for way too long. It's just, come on, give me these. And also some of the other levels that we'll see later. And level design is the main reason that this game is. Also, some of the bosses suck as well. This guy, there's not even, it's like you've hit him and he goes crazy, and there's not even any way to deal with this guy other than just abusing the short charge time of your rocket attack. It's just you hit him, and like the bosses are very easily abusable a lot of the time with these simple rocket attacks. And furthermore, I don't even know, like, what the legitimate, like, this must be the intended strategy for beating this guy, because, like, if you try to just sit around down there, there's no dodging that arm if you try to get down on the ground with them. All you do is you just fly up in the air and swoop down on him when he's done freaking out. And it's just, yeah, a lot of the other bosses in the game are similar, where it's just like you fly up in the air and then swoop down on him when he's vulnerable. And it's just like, yeah, I feel like they didn't really know what to do in terms of the bosses in this game. And then the other bosses are just like single screen guys where you just wait for them to become vulnerable and then rocket them from the other side of the screen. It's just, boss design isn't great. A lot of the level design isn't that great. And it's just a lot of missed opportunities. And actually, I feel that those opportunities were very much sort of the missed potential of this game was very much fulfilled in many ways, I think, by the sequel that came out many years later, Rocket Knight. One of the recent Konami digital download games. I think it was on Xbox. Yeah, Xbox and PS3. Is a really, really good game, I think. Probably my second favorite in the series. I don't know, honestly, it's really close with the original. It's got a few little niggling problems that kind of set it back a bit. It's very close. It's almost on par with the original Rocket Knight adventures, though. And in fact, in many ways, it's superior. In fact, I'd say it's very close. Like, on any given day, I might say, like, the new Rocket Knight or the old Rocket Knight Adventures is the best game in the series. And a lot of that is that it uses the kind of elements from the control scheme. It's not exactly the same as the control system or the rocket pack system in this game, but it's a little bit different, a little bit more refined actually, and actually has like the really cool level design to go with it. And actually, it actually does end up having some of the same problems in this game, where there's a lot of big sections of the game where there's a lot of wasted potential, auto-scrolling sections, really boring flying sections, the whole flying business, where it's like in the original Rocket Knight Adventures, where you sometimes have the 2D shmup sections where you're just flying through on your rocket pack. Like the new Rocket Knight game has those, except they're really slow and boring and stupid and way too numerous and too long. So that's the biggest problem I have with that game. Otherwise, though, it's brilliant and I love it. I would love to Let's Play it. The problem is, I don't at the moment at least, I don't have any way to stream console games on... Yeah, I don't have any way to stream or record console games at all right now. Now, there used to be a Steam release of the new Rocket Knight game. You used to be able to get it on Steam, but for some inexplicable reason, I have no idea why, it has been removed from Steam. You can't buy it anymore, which is just bizarre. It was a great... Like, it didn't exactly succeed. The game did not get very good reviews. It did not sell well. Actually, I was pissed off at game reviewers back when, yeah, Rocket Knight came out. I feel they really... Like, honestly, they just... It was just... Did not get a fair shake, I think. It was just, like, treated as like, just, you know, shovelware, like, garbage, like, stupid... Like, they'd say it's like, oh, they're just trying to... Cynical nostalgia cash-in and that kind of stuff, where it's just like, did we really... Was anyone really clamoring for this forgotten rocket pack-a-possum to make a comeback? Nobody wanted this, says, like, these fucking... reviewer chuds who have like hardly ever reviewed 2D platform games, or mainly like don't give a shit about the genre, have no experience with this type of games, are not qualified to pass judgment hardly on sort of where the new Rocket Knight game sits in kind of the pantheon of the genre. They just dismiss it. It's like they just obviously don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It just pissed me off. And yeah, the game ended up with like a 60 or some shit on Metacritic, which was... It deserved so much better. That was honestly one of my favorite games of that year. Oh, this is probably the toughest... This might be where I game over. Actually, this is the toughest... Fuck. Yeah, that right there is the toughest... Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I was going to comment on that. Rocket Knight, they left the demo up for some reason. Because yeah, it used to be, they do the thing where it's, you can get the demo and then like on the title screen of the demo. Oh hey, I got it first try actually. Or, sorry, second try, but still. Gonna have to practice that because that can actually take a lot of tries. And there's your hidden sword. But yeah, for some reason they keep the demo up. And... I'm actually curious to download it now because, like, the way it was, the demo used to have, like, the thing right in the game. You go on the title screen, it would say, like, unlock full game. And I wonder if, can you still buy it from within the full game, or is that just, like, blacked out in the full game, or... Honestly, what I bet would happen is it would just pull up the... I bet you just click it, and it would pull up a Steam window that just takes you to the Steam page for the game where you can't actually buy the game. Honestly, what I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably just gonna pirate the fucking thing. Like, I own it on PS3 already, so there's no reason not to. I actually didn't think about that till now. Yeah, the game used to be available, so I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Yeah, I'll probably just head on to Pirate Bay and get it that way if I really want to Let's Play it, which I probably do. Like, same as I'm kind of working my way through the Sonic series, I'll probably work my way through the Rocket Knight series as well. And yeah, when I come to that, unless they bring it back to Steam, I'm just gonna pirate the fucking thing. And in fact, I'm gonna say in the video, the only legit way you can get this game is to pirate it. This is a trap right here. If you go in that lower fish mouth, it takes you back to the start of this segment. This is another instance of really shitty level design here, where it's just the classic shitty trope, where it's just you got multiple doors and one of them just warps you backwards in the levels, and you just gotta do trial and error to figure out which door you gotta go through, and it's just horse shit. Other than that, though, this level is kind of decent. It doesn't really make excellent use of Sparkster's abilities, but you know, you got these like big columns to sort of go up that are kind of nice. You can a little bit of room for fancy maneuvering. I kind of like it. Honestly, this isn't a bad game, to be honest. It's mainly just the wasted potential. Honestly, playing it now, I'm actually having a better time with it than I remembered. A lot of it is just that I remember a lot of the bullshit. I remember which doors you have to go through and how to beat kind of some of the more bullshit segments of the game. Once you learn it, it's not a bad game. Whoop. Okay, and yeah, same trick with this guy. You want to definitely wait till your bar fills up. Oh. Okay, yeah, you gotta wait for his mouth to open as well before you hit him. And actually, as long as you wait for the full power... I've lost the name again. Screwdriver attack. Screw attack? Screwdriver? Corkscrew attack. That's the name. That's what I was going for. Corkscrew attack. Full power. Lets you just kind of trade hits with that guy. And again, it's kind of just a single screen boss fight. Kind of a waste. Conversely, though, again, the new Rocket Knight game has really good boss fights, actually, with multiple strategies, multiple ways to hit them. And, yeah, it's really cool in that way, actually. Yeah, that game really lets you do some cool stuff with your rocket pack to, yeah, sort of allow for really cool boss strategies and really cool, honestly, secret ways you can hit the bosses. There are, like, really clever things you can do to some of the bosses to hit them. You can, like, reflect their attacks back at them, or, like, you know, lure homing missiles into heading back on them, or, like, using breakable floors to get them. It's just, really cool. Yeah, that game had some great boss design. Yeah, and it just got shat on by reviewers. Fucking Games Press. Okay. Oh, okay, this is a tricky boss here, because, yeah, this guy can fire at you from off-screen. Okay, yeah, this here, he just sweeps at you with the tail. And again, his tail attack here, yeah, he just sweeps it across and it covers the whole ground, and you can't really dodge it, so you just gotta fly in the air. And then when he comes back around, shit. And also he fires that claw at you from off-screen. Hate that. Get him. Yep. Oh, he's doing that thing. You know what, I think okay, he's over far enough that I can actually avoid the tail this time. Oh, we got actually a bit close for comfort there. Again, though, this is kind of the same as the first boss, where you just... Oh, you know what, I think he's over too far again. I think I might have actually uncovered a new strategy for this guy. Normally, I just fly up in the air when he uses his tail sweep attack. He's not even using the claw this time. Yeah, he's... Oh, no, he's going for it this time. I gotta stay up in the air. Yep. Oh, sounds like he's coming up. And yeah, doesn't take that many hits to kill this guy. It's a cool idea for the... Actually, one of my little pipe dreams is... I say this all the time, that I think ROM hackers pick the wrong targets for games. Like, they make ROM hacks of, like, Super Mario World and Super Metroid. Games that are already, like, near-perfect classics that amateur level designers really can't outdo, but they try to anyways, and they make ROM hacks of these games. I would much prefer that ROM hackers go in and, like, improve and perfect games that need help. And actually, this game, I think, would be the perfect game that I'd love to see, like, a ROM hack of, that makes levels... Just, like, change up all the levels in this game, and maybe some of the bosses, too, if you could do that much work with it. And yeah, basically just give this game better levels, bigger, more open levels. This is one of my least favorite levels here, too. And again, as is often the case with this game, the concept here is really cool. You've got, like, this ship flying overhead. Yeah, it figures. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I thought would happen with the Sparkster game, where it just takes you to the Steam page and you can't buy it. But anyways, the concept of this level is so cool. It's like you got kind of two levels here, and you've got the bombs dropping, and it's like destructible terrain. It's like taking out the blocks here and deforming the terrain. The problem is, there's no reason to go down below there. Everything you need to do on this level is up here on the ship. What you need to do here is you need to take out all these propellers to crash the ship, and that's the way you beat this level. And unfortunately, because they spent so much screen space on that lower section that isn't even useful for anything, like, you can't do anything with that, you can't do anything on that lower section. There's no need to ever go down there under the ship doing all the cool bomb-dropping, terrain deformation stuff. No reason to do any of that, so you just stay up here on the top parts of the ship, where there's, frankly, yeah, very almost no screen space to maneuver around. And again, like I said, you want the big open spaces, so you need the, you know, the freedom to move around and fly all over the place, make use of that rocket pack. And this level just doesn't let you do that. You're so constricted. Look at this, I got like barely a screen, I got like less than a screen to work with as far as movement here. And instead, every time I go down, it's just like... And again, really cool idea. Just like the bombs dropping, the breaking the blocks below, two-tiered level here. It's just a really cool idea. It's just completely botched in the execution. And yeah, as a result, this is just kind of a shitty, boring level. You just hop down the tubes, and you keep hopping down the tubes until you pop up on the propellers that you need to kill. Also, this is a really short game, too. There's only like 5 stages to it. They're all roughly equivalent length, so actually we're just about halfway done the game right here. So again, these kind of weaker stages really do detract from the game as a whole quite significantly, just because, like, this is a fifth of the game right here, practically. Not quite, but... Oh. Whoa! Okay, so that blows up the ship. It's grounded now. And so we go inside, and then the next section of the level is the interior, which is, again, tiny little auto-scrolling section with barely any room to maneuver. Hardly more than a screen's worth of space. Oh. Unfortunately, yeah, these guys... Okay, that was close. Those eyeball things are actually quite tricky. Thankfully, yeah, most of them you can bypass, but that one... That first one is actually one of the toughest. Again, with the variation in the enemy animations, just like with the pigs on fire in Rocket Knight Adventures. Honestly, I think I do like Sparkster's new design. I actually kind of like the way that they sort of modernized him, gave him that, you know, kind of modern, quote-unquote, 90s sensibility to him. I like the new design for Sparkster. The overall aesthetic of the game, I think I kind of prefer the original Rocket Knight Adventures. Only slightly. Just because it was, just the overall graphical style. A lot of it is actually not just, in, like, the... Oops, shit. Not just the sprites, actually, but just a lot of, frankly, like a lot of the animation, a lot of the time was really good. Did a great job of just conveying a lot of personality to the enemies and that kind of stuff. Like, I think the pig soldiers, like, it's cool that, you know, they're running around freaked out by the fire in the ship and all, but frankly, like, the pig soldiers had a lot more varied animations. They did much more interesting behaviors, a lot more different things that they did, a lot more different contexts that they would appear in, and the enemies in Rocket Knight Adventures had a lot more personality to them, and a lot of that, I think, was the result of the just more animation put into them. Also, just a lot of the aesthetics too. A lot of the kind of I loved the steampunk aesthetic too, and again, kind of also as an aesthetic thing, the just the sense of speed and adrenaline that you get from especially the flying sections. I love the flying sections in the original Rocket Knight Adventures. Just again, the use of parallax is great. It conveys an awesome sense of speed, gives a great sense of kind of personality to... it kind of gives you a sense of the locale. Like, even this... Like, look at the parallax on here. Mind you, we're not exactly... Like, we're not rocketing through the city or anything, but honestly, yeah, just compare, like, the visual design of, like, the Gadol Empire capital here to the compare the background of this level, because this is basically the same idea as Stage 5 from Rocket Knight Adventures. We're approaching the Imperial capital, and that's the Imperial city in the background. Just compare the background of this level to the background of the flying section in Level 5 in Rocket Knight Adventures, and I think you get a general sense, I think. It's a good example of what makes Rocket Knight Adventures more aesthetically appealing than this game, I think. Again, I'm wasting all my good commentary that'll be showing up later in the... Oh, this guy's a bastard. Shit. Again, cool idea for a boss. Dreadful execution. So yeah, basically, if a skull hits you, you shrink. Once you shrink, he can start damaging you. And unfortunately, once you're shrunk, yeah, you can't hit him. Okay, and also this guy has kind of a long pattern with not a lot of opportunities to hit him. Yeah, but yeah, if you basically you have to dodge all of this guy's attacks to even... he's got a fixed pattern, and you need to dodge all of it in order to even have a chance at hitting this guy. And the trick with this guy is he's actually invincible, normally. So once he separates into, yeah, these tiny little guys, one of them will have little sparklies around him. You gotta hit that one, and then it'll change to this big head form, which is where you can actually start laying the hurt down on him. Once he gets in the center here, it's when it's, yep, really, really tough to dodge these once he gets in the center. Actually, the way you see me kind of shoot up there is sort of his replacement for the rocket pack attack. But yeah, cool idea for a boss. He's got, like, you know, kind of a size-changing guy. He's got the 3 different... Fuck! Come on! Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Yeah, I really dislike this boss. Again, cool idea, dreadful execution. And it's also another one, apparently, I need to practice a lot for the LP. We might actually game over here. Please heal yourself from your mini form, Sparkster. I need a hit right now. Okay, good. Okay, thankfully this guy actually doesn't take that many hits, so it's not quite as bad as it might be. Yeah, he's dead now. So honestly, it's not the worst boss in the world. Honestly, most of the bosses in this game are just kind of pathetic and too easy, with really cool concepts, bad execution. And actually, yeah, that was kind of the second last real stage. The next one here is just a giant robot run. So honestly, yeah, there's really only 4 real stages in this game. It's another kind of problem I have with the game, is it's just a bit short for my liking. Yeah, definitely the weakest in the Rocket Knight series, I think, but still a good game. And so I'd say this is a good game. I do enjoy playing it for the most part. It's just the wasted potential that just kills me. With the phenomenal, like honestly one of the best control schemes in like in 2D platformer history, and they just squandered it. With a robot level, like honestly, one of the best control schemes for any 2D platformer in the history of the genre, and you're gonna waste a fifth of the game on this fucking robot stage. Like this robot stage, you press left and right to move your robot, you press up and down to angle your punch arm, and that's it. The problem is you basically, what you do here, I don't remember exactly how to do it, but basically you find the magic angle, and you just fire your fist off forever, constantly. I think I found it here, and this is this whole level. What a fucking waste. But it's actually not the whole level. There's another part that's honestly even more of a disappointment. I think we're actually coming up on it here. And again, kind of a neat idea. It's like, you know, you got the giant robots are kind of a staple of the series, so, you know, it was a cool set piece in the original Rocket Knight adventures, so, you know, let's make a full thing about it for the next game in the series. Nice idea. Bad execution. And so, yeah, the whole thing here is basically, yeah, 1-button controls here. You jump to kick the guy, and jump over the fire, and that's it. I think we'll do that like 3 more times over the course of this game. Oh, sorry, over the course of the level, and apparently we're doing another one right now. Honestly, like I've talked about how shitty I was at video games, even as a little kid. I don't think I've gotten hit by that fireball attack that he does ever in my entire life. It's just so freaking easy to dodge. As long as I think you're even invincible. I think you have invincibility frames in the middle of your little jumping animation there, so as long as you keep mashing the button, I don't think it's even possible to get hit. Even as a little dumbass, yeah. Okay, magic angle. Oop. Okay, actually, one little way that they kind of mix things up there, that little orange canister is actually a health pickup, so if you punch that, you actually don't get it, so you want to avoid shooting the little orange canisters. But yeah, this is just a dumb level. And honestly, it was a bit of an exaggeration to say that it was a full fifth of the game. This level's a bit shorter than the other ones, but still. Oh yeah, and yeah, this was stupid. This isn't even the stupidest part of this level. We got dumber stuff coming up in a moment. Hopefully a moment. God help me, I think there's another leg section after this. Oh my god, I'm a failure. I'm a failure as a Rocket Knight. I actually got bounced into by a, whatever you even call this. I don't know. A leg frogman, winged... It's like a winged frog chicken walking thing. The frog T-80. I think these guys are supposed to be frogs. Or what would it be? AT-AT? ATFT, All-Terrain Frog Transport. That's it. And now we go to the mini-boss, which is even worse than the rest of the level. So he fires the things from the background, so you gotta stay away from him. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. You gotta hit him back at him, actually, is what you need to do. Completely forgot. And then he comes back here, so you just gotta run up to avoid those. Nothing you can do to reflect those back. And you just wait for him to... And that's all he does. He throws the balls in the front, throws the balls in the back. The balls in the front, you gotta hit back at him. And that's it. This is a really long fight, too. And honestly, most of the balls in the front don't even hit him. Damn it. Yeah, if you angle it right, you can get the double shot on him. Okay, if I'm not careful, I'm gonna die here. Even the... one thing, actually, in this game that's a noticeable step back from the original 2 is the music in this game is just worse overall than the original Rocket Knight Adventures. It's not bad, and there's actually a few exceptional tracks in the game, in my opinion, but in general, the soundtrack is just not as strong as in the original game. And not as good as the Super Nintendo version. Yeah, I feel like the composer... I feel that the Super Nintendo was kind of the lead platform for this game. I mean, honestly, the Super Nintendo version is a completely... Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Dynamite Headdy? No, we are playing... Sparkster. Rocket Knight Adventures 2. Oh, that's nice. It actually differentiates. I did not think... Because there's two versions of this game, or rather two different games called Sparkster. There's the one on Genesis, which the full title of which is Sparkster Rocket Knight Adventures 2, which is this game, and then there's just Sparkster on the Super Nintendo, which is a completely different game that basically reuses the mechanics from the original Rocket Knight Adventures. It's like, honestly, even though this one is called Rocket Knight Adventures 2, the other Sparkster game actually hews closer to the original, is kind of more of a spiritual successor to the original Rocket Knight Adventures than this game is. And guess what? We're doing the robot fight again. LOL. And yeah, this robot fight here is exactly the same as it was in the intro. Yeah, basically, and there's not much to it too. This is probably the worst robot, or okay, second worst robot fight in the series. This one at least is just pathetic and boring. This is all there is to it. You wait for him to fire off the shot, leaves him, I guess, stunned enough afterwards they can run up and hit him. And that's all there is to this fight most of the time. It isn't like downright aggravating, impossible, glitched bullshit like the robot fight in the Super Nintendo Sparkster. Actually, that's actually going to be a legit huge obstacle, because I have absolutely no way to beat the giant robot fight in Super Nintendo Sparkster. Not consistently. I can do it like maybe 1 in 10 times, which means I usually have to continue multiple times to win the giant robot fight in Super Nintendo Sparkster. I honestly think I'm just going to have to resort to save states and then just explain why the fight is such bullshit. And here we are in the final. I guess technically there's 6 stages, but stage 6 is just basically a final boss gauntlet. Oh, this stage music. I'm just gonna let it go. Or let's turn it up for just a little bit. Just a little bit. Wish I should have done this at the start of the level. What the hell? Oh, whoops, I turned up the volume on the wrong thing. There we go. Let's just chill and listen to the groove to the tunes for a little bit. Okay, yeah, that is legit, like, one of my favorite video game tracks of all time. It's got kind of like this somber, like almost mournful tone to it. I don't know. It's certainly one of my favorite like final level themes in like all video game history. Actually, this is the one... So anyways, I was talking about the Super Nintendo version of this game. The Super Nintendo Sparkster game has all of the same musical compositions as this game, for the most part, except the instrumentation is different, and it's much better on the Super Nintendo. You can tell that like all the music that you hear in this game was composed for the Super Nintendo sound chip, and indeed, this here is the one track in this game that does not appear, or it's one of two tracks in this game that doesn't appear in the Super Nintendo Sparkster. And in fact, this and the other one, which is the opening theme for the first level, are the two best tracks in this game. It's reason why is obvious. These are obviously the two that are actually specifically composed with the Genesis sound chip in mind. Oh, one thing, I've been noticing music credits in video games. Oh, tricky. Anyways, I've been noticing credits in video games lately, and I remember the last time I played this game, I was shocked to find that Akira Yamaoka is credited for... It says sound design in this game. I don't know exactly what that means, though, and I don't think a specific music composer was credited for this game, so I believe... I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that Akira Yamaoka, just based on, honestly, just sort of my intuition, based on the sound of it, and also just based on the credits, or the role that he's credited as in the credits, I believe that this and the main level 1 theme are, composed by Akira Yamaoka, who is, you know, the famous Konami composer, did Silent Hill, a bunch of DDR and Beatmania stuff. I'm actually, I'm not a huge fan of him or anything. But, you know, I actually have one of his albums, I Future List, which is, you know, not great. I actually prefer most of his video game stuff, but, anyways, he's made some good music. Fuck! Actually, I'm actually gonna be really fucking careful here. Actually, this is probably not gonna be a successful run of this game. Because, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to beat... This final level here is actually quite long and challenging, and it's very unlikely that I'll be able to get through on one life. Oh, if I get some apples, though. Yeah. Applesauce, bitches. And actually, this final level is, again, decent. It's fine for what it is. I kind of, again, though, in principle, I kind of dislike the really long corridors that it has. Basically, everything's too narrow. There's no freedom to, like, fly around and do stuff. You can bounce around a lot, which is a fair bit of fun. But, you know, it's not as fun as, you know, flying around freely in these big open spaces that I really like. But, you know, it's a fine level. It's just not exactly the kind of level that I prefer to see with the style of gameplay that this game has with its basic controls. Okay, yeah, waiting for the corkscrew attack is a death sentence against these stupid projectile guys. Just give them a double tap, it's faster. It's a good thing that the music in this stage is so freaking great, because, yeah, this stage is really long, so it's, we'll be hearing a lot of it. Oh, this section here, I believe... Or it's not quite yet. Damn. I actually don't even remember... Or, you know what? There's a switch back here. Yeah, this is a necessary part of the level. I need to do this. Freaking Bowser Flames. God, I'm gonna fucking die here. Oh wow, I'm shocked that I actually didn't get hit there. Whoa. God damn it, they were like Bowser Flames and Medusa Heads. This is like just all of the 2D platformer bullshit. It's like it's like Konami made Castlevania with the Medusa Heads, and it's like, you know what, this isn't enough bullshit. What bullshit from other video games can we steal to make this even more bullshit? I know. Medusa Heads plus Bowser Fireballs. Oh, those fucking Bowser fireballs. So many unfair hits on the Bowser fireballs I remember on my goddamn Mario playthrough series. Well, I'm gonna have to actually practice this game a bit, I think, if I'm gonna make a proper Let's Play of it. Yeah, using a continue just won't do here. I'm not gonna do it on stream here, I don't think. I'll just stick to my guns. And, yeah, just switch to the next game after this, if I end up having to continue. Like, what is this? How do you even... This would be... And the barriers! This would be reasonable without the barriers. It's just, you know, you rocket through, you kill some Medusa heads, and you have a few laughs. This shit, though... Okay. Or, oh, I'm actually... Okay, yeah, just rocket right forward. Okay. Yeah, final level here, quite challenging. Alright, you know what? I almost feel like I want to do... I'm a bit conflicted on what to do next for the Stop Sucking series. Because the whole idea is that, like, I want to pick games that I'm, like, not very good at and learn to, like, play them well. Learn to 1cc them. And I don't really have any good ones in mind. I've honestly I've crossed off most of, like, the bucket list of games that I want to go through and get good enough to 1cc them. Like, I can do Contra pretty well. Contra 3 might be one, although I don't know how entertaining that would be. Honestly, at this point, I think the frontrunner is probably Mario Brothers 2. That is Japanese Mario Brothers 2. Which would probably be a much longer series. Oh, fuck. Fuck, I wanted the corkscrew for this. Jesus! No! Okay. That is instant death if that thing hits you. But yeah, I'm thinking, and honestly, I don't think I have a better candidate at this point. I think at this point it's probably going to be, yeah, Japanese Mario Brothers 2, aka the last levels, or the lost levels. There we are. Final sword, or not the final sword, there's two more, but the last two swords are just gimmies. Honestly, there's really just 4 hidden swords in the game. It's like you get 1 gimme in the intro, 2 gimmies in the, stage 5 and 6. And honestly, yeah, the one hidden here, the other one hidden here is, yeah, not really that difficult to get. Whoop. Damn. Okay, I'm actually kind of into it now. I would love to be able to 1cc this game on, like, my first time back to it in a super long time. I think that'd be really impressive if I were to, like, 1cc this. Not quite blind, because I've played this game a lot, but, you know, unpracticed, to get an unpracticed 1cc of this game. Whoops, oh, right, yeah, the gimmick here. I think that would be quite impressive. Fuck. Okay, yeah, the gimmick here is that they keep on speeding faster and faster, until there's basically no avoiding them. I am hosed, this is the way it ends. Balls! Oh, nice, it knocked me back on the thing. Oops. Yeah, you gotta be really sparing with your... In fact, this was the trick here. I remember now. Fuck. Nope, this is it. Game over. Oh, no, that's right, we go to 0. What did I get? Oh, yeah, that's right, there was a 1-up with the last sword I picked up. Damn it. The goddamn sword bounce is killing me. Oh, no, you don't. There we go. Okay, I think I got this. Oh, I think I waited too long. I should have gotten a sword attack. Damn it! Oh, this is not going well. Get it! Nice, I think that was the last one. Oh, no it wasn't. No, it was not. Oh, okay, now it was. And I think the mid-bosses start here. There's like a weird recurring mid-boss in this one, of varying difficulties. Okay, so yeah, the gimmick with this one is, yeah, his lightning bolt starts in like mid-screen, so you just get up on him and sword him to death, and make sure you're in the air when he drops the porcupines. And that's all there is to this guy. Really kind of dumb and weird, but it can be tricky if you don't time your jumps right over the porcupines. So that's this guy. Done. And we'll see a few variations of that. Honestly, I was almost... Oh yeah, speaking of, yeah, lost levels now. I was almost thinking of doing that one actually, like, immediately after the Mario one, just because the Mario series actually ended a lot faster than I thought it would. I thought it would take me, like, maybe 15, 20 tries to beat that game, but I actually got it in just 8. So I was briefly considering just moving straight on to Lost Levels. Okay, second one of these guys. I actually forget the gimmick with this one. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the thing with this guy... Whoop! Okay, yeah. The thing with this guy is that it cancels all of his sparks when you hit him, so as long as... Yeah, as long as... Whoop. Okay, yeah, this was the gimmick here. I remember this now. It's all coming back to me. This was the gimmick with this one. So yeah, all these bosses just have, like, stupid exploits that trivialize them in, like, really simple ways. Oop. Oh, this guy's getting clever on me, he thinks. Using cover? I'm just gonna kill these guys, just because. Don't even think that I can even get damaged by them unless I walk in on them, but whatever. Give me an apple, please. Fuck you. It's weird. I remember they actually reused the slot machine system in the Animaniacs Super Nintendo game, which really surprised me when I did sort of my little blind play, my short-lived blind play of that game. And yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like, apparently someone at Konami just really liked that system. Honestly, given how kind of rough and unpolished this game feels a lot of the time, and given that I got kind of the same feeling from that Animaniacs Super Nintendo game, it would not surprise me if they were kind of both made by the same team. I suppose it's... Whoops. Oh, right, this guy. This is not good. Okay, thankfully, I think I remember the gimmick here was to just save up a spin attack, get him when he starts running, and then otherwise, yeah, just sword him. Sword him, sword him, sword him. Okay, yeah. So this one didn't really have any special gimmick to him. This one's just plain easy. As long as you're not an idiot who just lets himself get fucking schooled over and over again by the easiest enemies in the game. Okay. Hopefully nothing will kill me. If I make it to the final boss, I'm pretty sure I can clear the game. Final boss is not terribly difficult. If I can make it, I think I'll make it. If I die, well, I suppose I'll game over then, won't I? Yep, still not done this level. Still a fair bit of level to go yet. And actually, oh, that's right, we still got the most bullshit part of the level to go. Completely forgot about that. This is it. There's some kind of memorization that has to go on here. It's like you gotta go in at just the right time or else you'll get crushed. Inescapably crushed. So yeah, that's the wrong time, I think. Again, this is kind of another tedious, dumb thing. Okay, yeah, you rock it through when it's like that. Yeah, if you try to... Fuck. Yeah, like that, if you get impatient and... Oh! Wow, it must have been muscle memory that told me to go for it there. That was a really, really dumb idea for me to do that. But, I don't know, something told me. Muscle memory or something, I guess, yeah. I don't even know if this is the right time to go. I think it might be. Yeah. There we go. Oop. Okay, these guys are slightly off-colored from the regular barrier dudes, so... Yeah, these actually are a little bit, god damn it, tougher than the regular ones. And I believe this is not exactly the final challenge of the level, but actually they are kind of the final challenge of the level in that the final part of the level actually isn't that tough. Or you know what, I gotta get him when he's charging. Nope. Okay, yes. Okay, so you gotta wait till he starts charging. Nope. I don't know what the trick is with these guys. Just sometimes he closes his eyeball and sometimes he doesn't. Oh, I had a little timing worked out there. Nice. Oh my god, skip these fuckers if I can. Oh god, that was a bad idea. Bad idea. Redo. Redo. Oh god, that went poorly. How on earth? What was my strategy here? How did I ever do this? Fuck. Oh well, game over. How did I ever get... There must be a simple way to do that, because I don't remember that part of the level at all. That seemed like super difficult. Oh well, I'll practice it on my own time, so yeah. Anyone watching this on YouTube can wait to the full LP to see the full game. See the true last boss. We cut it short at just the best part too, because the duel with Axel Gear in this game is one of my favorite boss fights in like video game history. It's just so freaking epic. Okay, maybe not video game history, but certainly 2D platformer history. You know what? Yeah, I've got time. Yeah, fuck it. I think I'm just gonna do a live. I'll do my live Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3 playthrough right here, right now. Or just to simplify the cutting of things, I think I'm just gonna. Okay, first, resolution doesn't change because. But anyways, yeah, to make sure I don't have to like fish through my giant stream video to find the part I need to cut out for the Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I'm just going to briefly restart the stream here, just so I can start with like a new video on my hard drive. That'll be easier for managing the LP. And yeah, I'm just going to do a Let's Play live. Yeah, YouTube recording, just like, hello friends, this is Jasu Bakuhatsu, and welcome to Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Oh wait, you know what? Oh, I'm too drunk right now. Fuck, I wasn't gonna play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, no, it was... Because everyone knows Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's like an absolute classic in the annals of gaming history. Who doesn't know Sonic 3 and Knuckles? I'm not introducing that to people for the first time at all. No, what I'm gonna be playing here, we're playing, for this Let's Play, we're playing Sonic 3 Complete. This is a ROM hack of, you know what? No, I can't do a Let's Play now. I need to research this shit, because I want to give proper credits to the people who developed it. I want to go through all the differences and all the reasons to play stuff and sort of the development history and whatnot. That's right, I remember now. That's why I've been procrastinating on this series so long, because I want to do a good job of it. Oh, is that right? How does that work? Is it just like something with like Twitch, the way Twitch organizes shit, or... Actually, it'd be good to have it to get into anyways, just make sure, yeah, check my Twitch dashboard shit, so I don't have to, so I remember to change the name of the game. I guess I could just play Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles for fun. It is fun, but I don't want to burn myself out on it before I do the Let's Play, because yeah, I'll probably have to do a practice run for that. Sonic Spinball. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Or actually, okay. Actually, I have a different idea now. Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, the Twitter thing, I think. I don't use Twitter for... I don't have Twitter synced with my Twitch stream anymore. I like to customize like my own I like to personalize the Twitter messages I send out when I'm streaming. Although that is a good idea. It's a... Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. That's actually not a bad idea. But anyways, I think I started things off with Sonic, so I think I'm going to close things with Sonic tonight nevertheless. But instead of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or rather Sonic 3 Complete, oh my goodness, where is it? Do I not have Sonic? There we go, SC Heroes. So, okay, so I'm just going to restart the stream quick. And, yeah, we'll come back with SC Heroes in a moment.